Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. The wild card has come and gone, and what a wild weekend it was. Perhaps one of the best wild card weekends in recent memory, and in large part that had to do with two teams in this division getting two massive W's. The LA Rams down at the 2-minute warning. Doesn't matter. Move on to the divisional. The San Francisco 49ers down at the 2-minute warning. Doesn't matter. Move on to the divisional. There were 3 NFC West teams that made it to the postseason. There are 3 NFC West teams that remain in the Final Four in the NFC. On tonight's episode, we recap the craziness that we saw in the wild card round this past weekend. And of course, we take a look at the divisional round, giving you our previews and predictions for what's to come this upcoming weekend, including that epic rematch between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. That's all coming your way right here on the NFC West Roundtable. Without further ado, let's bring in the fellas. Brando, Jake, Mike, Jesse, I think your camera's off.
Camera's off.
Guys, I would love to turn my camera on, but I've got this embarrassing. All right, listen, I got this growth on my head. It's really embarrassing. I just don't want to.
Come on, buddy. Come on out. Let's take a look. Come on out, buddy.
You guys promise you won't laugh, and everybody in the chat, like, there's not a lot of people watching, right? We should be good.
No one's watching. How many? 2, 3?
5.
If that, yeah.
If that, okay. So we're
amongst
good.
friends.
No, this is a safe place.
It is.
Always
It's just the internet. You know?
In the nest,
Okay.
are we not?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Good Lord.
This thing is so ridiculous, dude. This is way worse than the sourdough ham. Oh my God.
Give us the side, bro. There we go.
Dang.
Wow.
I love that it has the logo like on the logo. Like why? Like why is that there?
It's the logo of the logo. This
that was
thing
on
is
eBay, right?
This is brutal, man. Yeah, this is an eBay buy for sure. Yep.
That's badass.
Fits you like a glove. What's the over-under on the weight of that thing? 4.5 pounds?
It's all foam. It's pretty thick. I'd say it's a good 4 pounds sitting on my head. And here's the worst thing about it is, like, it's not like a normal hat. So, like, it's so heavy, it just, like, makes my ears fold, like, all weird and awkward. Yeah, so this thing's a beauty, man. I don't know where you found this, but kudos to you, man. Good job. Way to cash in on a bet.
The Seahawks have one of those logos that work with that hat. I can't even think of that many more teams that could have that work. It was like the perfect harmony with the logo and that hat. Jesse, how much better does it feel to be able to wear that hat coming off a road victory over the reigning champs as a 6-point dog? At least you get to do that in this fashion as opposed to last week.
I will say it is apropos that we couldn't get this hat last week and that we are about to match up versus the Seahawks once again. So yuck it up in the chat all you want, but it'll be us getting the last laugh this weekend. That's all I got to say. All right.
The destiny that is unfolding.
Hold on. You didn't even have you getting to this point. You did not have the 49ers.
That's right. No, and
none of you had the 49ers.
We'll see. Hold on. We'll see
had
how
the
I pick
49ers.
this game. We'll see how I pick this game depending on if we have another bet. Is the question? Do we have another bet, Brandon, or are we done with our bets this year?
I mean, it's escalated. My chat last is like when we do the show potentially in Seattle next year, you'd have to be on a Bainbridge ferry in a Darnold jersey screaming "I love Seattle." It's getting pretty. Some of the suggestions, this could escalate very quickly, my friend. It took a life on its own on this one, but I'm down. I ain't scared. You got something in mind? Let's go. I've got the utmost confidence coming this week.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll get some sort of bet. We'll We'll finalize the bet tomorrow on Behind Enemy Lines, and we'll make sure that we cash in on not only this show but that show. Unless we, hey, in the chat, throw out suggestions, whatever you guys want to do. We'll figure it out. I don't want to do a jersey. I'm not a jersey guy, so just please, no jerseys. Be creative though. Be creative.
Folks, that's what us in the industry call a tease right there. Jesse just gave you the tease of a lifetime. Send some suggestions in the chat because, as you know, we have the biggest matchup of them all coming up this upcoming weekend. We already had 2 hat bets between those 2 arch rivals. Let's add more fuel to the fire. That is a single elimination do or die game this upcoming Saturday night. The fate that is unfolding, by the way, in this division, you can't make it up. You have 3 of the 4 remaining teams within this division. You are guaranteed to get at least 1 team within this division into the NFC Championship. And as it stands right now, you have a 75% chance to have a team represent this division in the Super Bowl. Once again, we've been saying it all year, but we will emphasize it once again. This is the best division in football. You're watching it unfold each and every week, including in the postseason. And let's dive in to the postseason. Let's dive in to the game that kicked off an epic wild card weekend, and it was in Carolina. The Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers, where they were a 10-point road favorite. And we rewind to late in the regular season where the Rams took on these same Carolina Panthers. Everybody predicted the Rams would roll them. And not only did they not roll them, they lost. So you go into this game and everyone's thinking, well, surely that can't happen again. And they're a 10-point favorite. They've seen these guys before. This is a different situation. It's the playoffs. It's Matt Stafford, the potential MVP. There's just no chance it's even close. And what do you know? The Carolina Panthers, with 2 minutes remaining on the clock, had the lead until Matthew Stafford hit Kobe Parkinson for an unbelievable touchdown near the front right pylon to send the LA Rams to the divisional round. LA 34, Carolina 31. Matt Stafford, not his best outing. 24 of 42 for 304, 3 touchdowns and a pick, but he stepped up when it mattered most. Bryce Young, nearly a 50% completion percentage. Wasn't his best outing either, but Jalen Coker really helped him out with 9 catches, $134, and a touchdown. This game was epic, and I think into it, fellas, we did not expect it to be what it wound up being. However, we did expect the Rams to win. That's exactly what they did. Jake, this time of the year, you don't care if you win by 100 or you win by a half a point. As long as you win and you move on, that's what your LA Rams did. Talk to us about what your Rams were able to pull off on Saturday evening.
Yeah, I'm really proud of this team. I understand there are a lot of Rams fans that are upset with the outcome and that it was so close, but I don't think anybody here, including myself, took the Rams to cover, and rightfully so. I mean, I think when you look at the Panthers that first time, did they overlook them? Maybe a little bit, but give the Panthers credit. They showed that they belonged in the playoffs despite an 8-9 record. They played one of the tougher schedules of any playoff team, and I think that showed. But on top of that, this, I think, is the future for the Rams. I think this is the future that Sean McVay is going to have to adapt to. Evero was on this staff for a while, and there were a lot of Rams castoffs also on the Panthers, and I think that had something to do with it. A lot of familiarity over there. Evero was in his bag, and I think he really did a nice job kind of halting Sean McVay because, once again, this was a 17-7 game that could have been a 20-7 game, and the Rams were kind of taking over it. And then again, second half comes around and all of a sudden they're losing. So this team right now is definitely, they're something, they like making it a cardiac arrest type of ending, but who cares? As long as you win. I was saying that about the 49ers, and I'm going to bring it up because, Jesse will have his time to talk about it, but this is why I picked the 49ers to beat the Eagles, because you play in the best division in football. The Eagles play in a cakewalk division. And I think this, the cream rises to the top. And I don't think it's a surprise that all 3 of the NFC West, big time teams are in the Final Four in the NFC. I don't think it's a surprise at all. And with that said, the reason I bring that up is because the 49ers lost 13-3 against Seattle. And I said over and over again, people are going to overreact and act like the 49ers are going to just completely, their spirit's broken, injury, one injury too many. That's not what happened. And it's the same thing with the Rams. People were talking about how, Seattle broke them, it's over. Atlanta broke them. This is done. They beat the Cardinals. Who cares? They came in there and they got the job done. It doesn't matter how it looks at the end of the day. They got it done. And once again, Matthew Stafford showed you he's the MVP of the league. He's the best quarterback in the league. And there's nobody I'd rather have quarterback in my team. With the sprained index finger that I think definitely took a toll on him, in the middle portion of the game. When he had to have it, he made the best throw of the night, or throw of the day, to Colby Parkinson. So just a hell of a performance to get that done, go down the field, win the game. And now you play Chicago, and everyone's talking about it, but we'll get into it later on the show, I'm sure. But I'm excited for that matchup.
Jake, we know what this offense is, obviously. Devontae Adams back too, so of course that helps. We know what Puka is. We know what Matt Stafford is. Let's talk about this defense for a second, because the Carolina Panthers scored more than 30 points twice this season. Both times were against the LA Rams. You look at the end of the season here, and it's where the defense of the Rams started to show a bit of cracks, right? 34 to the Lions, 38 to the Seahawks, 27 in a loss to the Rams. I think everybody's confident in this offense and their ability to put up points. Where do you stand right now on the defense as you head into the divisional round against a Ben Johnson-led offense with Caleb Williams playing out of his mind right now?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough opponent here. Caleb Williams is statistically the least accurate quarterback in the NFL, but he also can make every single throw. And the throw he made on the 4th and 8 was one of the greatest throws I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
It was unbelievable, because, there are people at home that don't understand, and they're going to say that, he underthrew him. No, he threw that perfectly, because he had to throw it in between 3 defenders. And you don't make that throw. Like, I don't even think guys attempt that throw even when they need to. So it was pretty crazy for him to attempt that and to successfully throw it. But, he misses the layups too. And he's really bad in the intermediate game. So I think the Rams can take advantage of that. I think it's kind of funny that Chicago fans are hoping for snow, when I think that would actually neutralize Caleb Williams. I think the best thing about him is that, he likes to play on the run. He likes to play. He wants to be mobile. He doesn't want to set his feet. He wants to throw off platform. Actually, his numbers look better when he does that. So if there's snow, I don't understand how that's going to help him. But as far as the defense is concerned, I think it is concerning. They lost to Kelly Witherspoon, unfortunately, for the season. He got his scapula again, so the same injury that he got in week 2. Really unfortunate for him. He worked so hard to get back. So right now, they're a little weak there. This is why I was glad they went out and got Darion Kendrick when they did, and they traded for Roger McCreary. But, aside from that, I mean, this is a team that you can throw the ball on right now. So the Rams are going to have to step up. But the good news is that pass rush, and obviously I mentioned Quentin Lake for weeks. Like, oh, yeah, it's going to be so much better when he comes back. It was. Right away, 4th down stop, huge pass breakup, tip drill, interception, huge in the run game. They completely stifled the run game. I see all the time, in the comments, and I'm not saying just everybody, but I see it in the comments because I read them. And I saw a lot of people saying I was making excuses about, Poona Ford this and Quentin Lake this. Well, they completely shut down the run. They completely shut down the run with those guys. So maybe I was onto something, just like maybe. They stopped the run. And I think they'll be able to do that against Chicago. But I think the big thing is the corners. And the one thing you could really take away from the Rams right now is that pass rush is getting there. And this is what I expected. 35 pressures on Bryce Young. It's not 35 sacks like fans want it to be. But that's not realistic. 35 pressures is 35 pressures. Forcing him to make inerrant throws. It is funny because people act, well, what do pressures really do in the grand scheme of things? I don't know. You look at that final drive. The reason why they didn't have a yard, when the Panthers needed it on that final drive is because of the pressure. Bryce Young was pressured immediately. He had guys in his lap. I mean, that's what happens. That affects the throw. And so if they're going to do that against Caleb Williams and they're going to be able to stop the run, then I have a lot of confidence that, the secondary might not need to be amazing to win that game.
Lastly, the Rams rocket out to a 14-0 lead. I think in the beginning, you're watching this saying, man, this could get ugly. This could be a blowout. the game changes in one pivotal moment. It's 17-7 right before the half. The Rams are in the red zone. 4th and 2, they decide to go for it, do not get it. The Panthers then turn that into a touchdown to make what was a 17-7 game, could have been a 20-7 game, a 17-14 game, Jake, and it never felt the same after that. And obviously Carolina would go on to take the lead in the 4th. The Rams would have to pull off the comeback late. Your take on the decision by Sean McVay to not take the points when up until that point, they had been dominating Carolina for the first half.
Yeah, I saw some good takes on this. I think it was TJ Ward, former Broncos player. He had said that, you kick the field goal, you take the points because it keeps the momentum going. And I actually get that, but I actually agreed with going for it. I'm sure Sean McVay felt in his heart that there was no way they were going to stop him. I hated the play call. I hated it. One issue that I've seen creep up is McVay has panic play called a few times. He did that in this game. And he does this thing where on 3rd and short or 4th and short, he's trying to put, all his money down on green at the roulette table. Just take the red. No, he's trying to put it on green. What I mean by that is on 3rd and 1, just get the first down. On 4th and 1, just get the first down. What he was trying to do there is he knew having Puka Nacua underneath would draw attention away from the end zone. And so he'd be able to get, a potential touchdown opportunity on a 4th down. To me, just get the first down. So I'm seeing that quite a bit. I don't love it. That's what happened. Nacua was still open, but Stafford had a rollout. That was, the way the play was designed. I hated it personally. So to answer your question, I think it was the right move, the wrong play call.
It's funny, I saw a tweet that read my mind. It said, the next great NFL coach will be the next person to realize that field goals exist. And it's funny, you're watching that game, and then, of course, you're watching the Bears game, and I thought Ben Johnson had a disastrous outing. And, of course, everybody comes back to you and says, how'd that take age, bro? And it's like, well, yeah, Caleb Williams made maybe the greatest throw I've ever seen down 11 on 4th down to go on and help them win the game. But early in that game, Ben Johnson, 4th down like it was 1st down, and they're down 14-3, goes for it on their own 30, and all of a sudden 14-3 turns into 21-3. Both those coaches, McVay and Ben Johnson, overcome it. They now clash this upcoming weekend, so it'll be interesting to see if they remain as aggressive as they were this past weekend. All right, let's transition to the other team within this division that played on Wild Card weekend, and they did not have an easy task in front of them. They were tasked with having to take on the reigning champs. But ladies and gentlemen, there will be a new champion this season because the San Francisco 49ers knock off the reigning Super Bowl champs in the Philadelphia Eagles 23-19. Despite 2 interceptions by Brock Purdy, it didn't matter because Jalen Hurts once again sub 200 yards, and the Philadelphia offense that many people worried wasn't going to show up in the postseason like it had in the regular season didn't. They finished with 19 points. A missed extra point wound up looming large in this game because the Philadelphia Eagles get all the way down the field after Brock Purdy leads the Niners on what would be a game-winning touchdown drive with a throw to Christian McCaffrey to seal it. But the Eagles, right down in scoring territory, Jalen Hurts says, I see 3 Niners. I'll just throw it there on 4th down. Had they made that extra point, maybe this game goes to overtime. It did not. The Niners advance. The Niners season was impressive going into this game, win or lose. When you now put a playoff win on the road, touchdown dog against the reigning champs, against, let's be honest, a roster that unequivocally is just flat out better based on what the Niners currently possess. This was one of the more impressive coaching jobs and impressive victories I've seen in a while. Jesse, talk to me. I know you weren't 100% confident in these Niners going into it, and rightfully so. You're going up against the champs. You saw them turn it on this time last year, and you were going into this one as banged up as possible. Plus, you lose George Kittle again in the middle of the game, yet these Niners still find a way. Talk to me about this team, their resilience, and the ability to move on to the divisional.
Man, every game this season has truly mattered up to this point, and the way that the 49ers have found a way to win in spite of injuries, it really doesn't matter who's been out. The one consistent player that's been in is Christian McCaffrey, and this team won 12 games, had a chance for the number 1 seed. and now has a playoff win. This exceeds all expectations. They're certainly playing with house money at this point. And yeah, I wasn't confident the 49ers were going to win. Listen, I'm a 49er fan, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to give real analysis and what my opinion is. Did I think the 49ers could win? Yeah, I talked about it all week about the paths to victory. I just felt like when you played this game out 10 times, the most likely scenario was that the Eagles would win. And a lot of the reasons why I thought they would win actually did play out in this game. One, I didn't think the 49ers would be able to run the ball effectively. They weren't. I didn't think that they would be able to stop the run effectively. They didn't. And I didn't think that they would be able to put up a ton of points. In fact, I figured I actually had the score 23-20 Eagles, so I did think it would be close, and it basically ended up being that. It just ended up being the 49ers winning that game. I also thought that they could do a lot of the same things in the pass defense that Seattle's able to do with the players that they have available to them. And they did. They forced 2 turnovers on Brock Purdy. One thing that I did underestimate, though, was the 49ers offensive line and their ability to keep Purdy relatively clean for the most part. There wasn't a lot of pressure from that Eagles front four, which was a bit surprising to me. And as bad as the Philadelphia offense has been all season long, I just looked at it and said, man, the 49ers defense is so banged up. Now they're down to linebackers like 5, 6, and 7. There's just no way that they're going to be able to keep the Eagles off the scoreboard enough to win this game. And I was absolutely wrong about that, pleasantly wrong about that. The way that Eric Kendricks played, the way that Garrett Wallow played, those guys absolutely came through. You wouldn't know, you would be none the wiser. If you didn't know who the 49ers starting linebackers were, you would have no idea that those guys weren't starters. They played out of their mind. Kendricks made the final play there to tip the ball. And gosh, Patullo is so bad as an offensive coordinator. Worse than what I thought. I'll say that. There's just so much talent on that Eagles team. The 49ers were clearly outmatched. They had to travel. They had all the injuries. They lose George Kittle mid-game. And they played anything but a perfect game themselves. You know, you had a fair catch at the 5-yard line. You had some blunders with some play calling and some timeouts that were ill-advised towards the end of the first half that kept 3 points off the board. You had a missed extra point of your own. There was a lot of things that could have happened to derail that, but the 49ers just kept fighting. And listen, I have my opinions about Brock Purdy, and I've made those very known. But one thing I will say, and I've said that many times on this show, and it's why I picked the 49ers in Week 18 to beat Seattle and why I'm going to continue to pick them until Sam Darnold proves otherwise. I believe in Brock Purdy. Ball in hand, game on the line. I do believe that Brock Purdy is going to come through, and he did exactly that in the biggest moment of this game. Yes, he had the 2 interceptions, but ball in hand when they needed it most, he came through. He delivered. This team was able to get it done, and the defense was able to hold the lead. Very, very good team win. And this team right now is playing, like I said, house money. There's nothing to lose. They're going to let it all hang out this week, and I'm curious to see how that plays out.
There was just a graphic behind you on your little thing there. The Oregon Duck logo popped up and said no game data available. My heart kind of broke for you a little bit. It kind of took the wind out of the sails.
Subtle
What was
there,
an
Jesse.
incredible rant.
I did say, I tweeted this out on Friday. I said, you're welcome. I sacrificed my Oregon Ducks so that the 49ers could win on Sunday. And luckily that happened, because if the 49ers had lost, this would have been a really, really bad weekend for me.
Well, Jesse, you had an idea that there was potential for them to lose, and I have a feeling if I would have told you going into the weekend, hey, Brock Purdy's going to throw 2 picks in this game, that probably would have, I would imagine, advanced your thoughts that these Niners aren't getting out of there victorious. You just touched on it a little bit, but what do you make of the ability to not only overcome everything they've overcome, but also within the game overcome that and the loss of George Kittle? Because beyond what he is on the field, and that's one of the best tight ends in the game, he is the 49ers. I mean, you think of San Francisco, you think of George Kittle. Talk to me a little bit about the ability to just continue to overcome here in a way that doesn't even seem possible.
Yeah, I really don't understand it. I was at the game in Tampa where Fred Warner got hurt, and just the energy in that building, the energy from the team, it was bad, and it was palpable. And so you got to imagine they went through the exact same thing when Kittle went out. But it speaks to the resiliency of this team. They've dealt with it all year long. They've played in close games all year long. And so when you have a major injury in the middle of the game, you know exactly how to deal with that. And when you're in a tight game situation, you know how to deal with that as well. This team has learned a lot this season. And regardless of how things play out on Saturday, you've got to be proud as a 49er fan of this team and the resiliency that they've built up, the calluses that they've built up throughout the course of the season is going to really serve them well in the future. This has been an incredible season. My favorite season by far in the Shanahan era, just because of what they've had to go through. And let's hope that this magical ride continues past Saturday.
Brando, you were at home on the couch watching these two games for all the right reasons, Mike. You were at home watching these two games on the couch for all the wrong reasons, but nonetheless, watching these games and soaking in what were two awesome games against your two arch rivals here. I want to get your guys' perspective on both. Mike, I'll start with you. What did you take from the Rams game? What did you take from the Niners game and how they ultimately wound up finishing out?
Yeah, well, I'll start off with the Niners game. That game was just it almost kind of felt like at one point, like nobody knew how to win that game. Like it was just kind of like bad, but like I think it just kind of showed how truly bad the Eagles are offensively. And I know Jake called it, but like I seriously thought they were going to turn it on, but like AJ Brown missing something and it just like, dropping the ball and just Jalen Hurts, like he just can't throw the damn ball anymore. Like I just don't even know, like Saquon is their whole team when it comes down to it. But obviously, you got to give credit over to the 49ers for sticking in and having the best player on the field. And I do think that's Christian McCaffrey. I think he actually came out and showed out for the 49ers. It sucked to see Kittle go down so early because I don't know, man. Like Jesse was saying, these type of seasons, like nobody expected these guys to be here. Like this is the team that can't die. Like they're just somehow finding ways to win when they have everything stacked up against them, right? What are they on, like the third or fourth string linebackers? Like it's absolutely insane what they're doing. So kudos to them. And they made some really good plays defensively as well. So obviously I got my eye on Salah, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully that transpires for me. But the Rams game, I don't know. Like I see the confidence that Jake has with the Rams, and I get it. But I think you guys should be worried. I really should. I don't know what this team really is. Now, obviously, I still do think you're a playoff team. I mean, obviously, you guys are here. But, like, there should be something a little like a worry bone in your guys' body. This is not the same Rams team. It really isn't. And I'm not going to come out here that the Seahawks broke you guys because you should have won that game by flying colors, and then you allow them to come back, and we all know how that transpired. But, like, there's something not seriously wrong, but there's something wrong with that defense, or not more the offense than the defense. So I don't know how to really feel about the Rams. Had them as Super Bowl favorites earlier, but now I don't know, I'm kind of peeling back a little bit. But I don't know, that Rams game was a little confusing. I thought they were gonna completely blow away the bricks off the Panthers, and they didn't. So it's not just that; it's just something's a little off with them. But overall, good win. It doesn't matter how you do it, right? 1 point, 2 points, 7 points blowout. You're in the next round, so congratulations. And obviously the 49ers keep winning, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
And I want to say this real quick. The 49ers do have a win over all three other remaining teams in the NFC playoffs. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Nice little nugget there from Jesse. Well, Brando, your Seahawks weren't playing, but, the grind never stops. You're live streaming. You're scouting, baby. You're locked in. You're saying, I'm playing that Niners team next week. And then that Rams team right there, that's the team that I might potentially play to get to the Super Bowl the following week. So you're locked in. You're watching these two awesome games. What were your takeaways from the Niners win and the Rams win?
Well, I'll start with the Rams. I think, Mike's point about there seemingly something a little slightly off with the Rams. I wouldn't overstate it. I don't think that they were disappointing in this game. I don't take that the close score somehow shows that the Rams are anything but the biggest threat that exists in this NFC conference to us as we go through the rest of this season. But it all does come down at this time of the year. As I've said many times over before we've gotten to this place, you want to be playing your best football at this time of the year. You don't want to have parts of your team that you're kind of going, it's all right. It's all right. But it's also like, I don't know. And I also don't think you got from Carolina necessarily a grade A game plan from them, specifically some of their wanting to try to throw as much as they did. It just didn't seem like they had the best there. But look, the Rams got it done. Games on the road in the playoffs are going to be tough at this time of year. That's just the way it rolls. Be interesting to see with Stafford where that finger is at, because we've dealt with that here with like Russell on that, and that finger gets smacked, and it can get hard, especially give it a week of time to kind of, I'm sure they're going to put a bunch of Toradol in it and have that thing in a cryogenic chamber or something like that throughout the course of the week. But this Rams team. They're a good team. And I think they can get it done this next week. As far as the 49ers go, and it's going to be the unfortunate part, I think, of this next couple of weeks is we have to talk about these teams going at each other because we don't get to kind of put as much respect to these opponents as we would maybe like to, because it's going to be talking trash and it's going to be saying my team's going to slam your team and belt to ass, and it's going to be all that stuff going on. And I don't think that should necessarily get lost in the fact that these teams are this good. You mentioned it earlier, Zbot. I watched the AFC playoffs, and I really do think that there's a distinct difference between the AFC and NFC, and then the NFC West has completely separated itself. It did through the regular season, and now it has done so through the playoffs. That stood out to me, and these teams are so good, and the 49ers are so well coached. And I thought that they came into that game wanting to go win the game, whereas the Eagles were kind of trying not to lose the game in their approach. The play calling right out the gate to attack Vic Fangio's cover 2 shell and to know that he was going to be sitting down squatting on routes low and then just keeping a safety to one side of the field. That's a Shanahan special right there, attacking it right up the seam at that point. And that's something he had caught on tape through the week and knew he was going to be able to rely upon. The trick play down at the end of the game, the perseverance of spirit that they've shown time and time again. It has wowed me. It's blown me away. I don't know of any other team in the NFL that could be able to sustain themselves to this point and getting this done. But yeah, you feel very prideful about the NFC West walking out of this. You feel like, we're all a little bit biased in thinking we got the best division in the game. But I mean, no one else can make an argument that anybody's even close in 2025.
No doubt about it. 4 teams remain, 3 from this division. It does not get more dominant than that, and we cannot wait to talk about what those 3 teams are going to do in the divisional round, and we will be doing that in just a moment. Before we do, I want to give a shout-out to my friends over at RotoWire, who have you covered with tons of premium tools to get you ready for that divisional round, including my favorite, their NFL Odds Premium Tool, where you can shop all of the betting lines across all the major sports books all in one place. Right now, you can get the best line on the 49ers over at Bet Rivers. You can get the best line for the Seahawks over on FanDuel. And you can compare all the games and all the lines all right here on your screen using just one of the many premium odds tools, or premium tools rather, over on RotoWire. Go to the link in the description below, click that, and sign up for a RotoWire premium subscription. And once you do, you will immediately get a 15% off discount when you use the promo code RTS. Once again, speaking of the division, my Buffalo Bills, they're also in the mix. We have 3 teams on this panel and your trusty host, not horse, although I sound like a horse because I lost my voice.
It's the hat.
It is.
Freudian slip there, huh?
A Freudian slip indeed, because the amount of people I've had this week say that I sound like a horse. I don't really know where that saying comes from, but apparently that's what you are called when you do not have a voice. And when Cole Bishop picked off Trevor Lawrence, he also picked off my voice. So if that's why I sound like I've smoked even more cigarettes than I usually sound, that is the reason why. But anyway, speaking of my Buffalo Bills, they've earned the right to play the Denver Broncos in the divisional round. That will be the game that precedes the epic matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. And right now you can get in on the action throughout the divisional round over on Sleeper. I did with that Bills Broncos game. Here's my slip, and it's a very opportunistic and very optimistic slip at that. I got Josh Allen more than 1.5 pass TDs, Dalton Kincaid more than 36.5 receiving yards, seeing that he's the only person I think capable of going out there and playing the receiver position, even though he's a tight end. Bo Nix, less than 1.5 pass TDs. Harvey, less than 50.5 rush yards. You can tell that, or of course, create your own via the link in the description below. Click that and sign up for Sleeper. Once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry. You can use that in the divisional round across all the games. NBA, NHL, you name it, it's all on Sleeper. Once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. And while you're down there, I urge you to check out our new friends that are allowing us to give away an epic giveaway that happens to pertain to this division, and in particular happens to pertain to our very own Brando's Seahawks. It's our friends over at Covered, and we are very excited to be partnering with them to do stuff like this. Covered, link in the description below. Click that, and once you do, use the promo code Ball Don't Lie, and it will give you a free entry to enter in to tons of different giveaways on the app, including a Jackson Smith and Jigba autographed and framed jersey. Look at that on your screen. It reminds me of the one Brando's got behind him there. It is as good as it gets. You have the jersey, and it's the throwback one. It doesn't get better. A couple of images there, a beautiful, beautiful frame job, and the autograph to go along with it. Here's the beauty. This app, fairly new, so there's not a ton of people who have entered into this giveaway yet. Last I checked, there might have been only 20-ish people or so. The link is in the description below. It's also pinned in the chat. Click that, sign up, and use the promo code Ball Don't Lie. That will give you a free entry. Now, in order to enter into the giveaway, you play a game. It's called Cashy Bird, not to be confused with Flappy Bird, even though it's the exact same thing. You play the game and earn points, and you stack your way up the leaderboard. Once the giveaway time expires, the leader of the leaderboard wins the jersey. So it's a lot of fun, and there's a ton of cool prizes on there. This is just one of the many. So go and take advantage of that. It's super cool. And obviously it doesn't get better if you're a Seahawks fan than winning this. And if you're not a Seahawks fan, you can win it and then brag to all the other Seahawks fans in here and say, look, I have this, and I'm never going to hang it up, but I have it just because I'm keeping it away from you. So link in the description below. Check out our friends over at Cupboard. We're excited to be partnered up with them. Speaking of excitement, we are excited for this divisional round. Are you kidding me, folks? We have kind of been talking this into existence for some time, and it's because it felt like this was where it was heading. We've talked all year long about how great these teams are. It should be no surprise that 3 teams of the 4 in the NFC remain in the divisional round. That's exactly the case, and that's exactly what we look forward to watching this upcoming weekend. And it starts on Saturday, and it is a rivalry renewed for the 3rd time this season. The San Francisco 49ers on the road against the 1 seed, the Seattle Seahawks, who are rested. They got to chill at home, watch those Niners beat the Eagles, and now the 12s get to bring in their divisional rival with the hopes of an appearance in the NFC Championship on the line. It does not get better than this. Jake, I'll start with you, because these are the 2 teams. Should your Rams advance, this comes down to these 2. You're going to have to play one of your division rivals. Who do you think that'll end up being should your Rams advance? Who moves on to the NFC Championship between the Niners and the Seahawks?
I think it was always Seattle. But I think this game is going to be very weird, and I wouldn't be surprised the 49ers just found a way. We can keep talking about how they just too many injuries. They just keep winning, right? They just keep finding ways to do it. I don't think this benefits Seattle in any way to play a team that they literally just played. I know they beat them pretty handedly the last time, even if the score didn't really indicate that. But I really don't know how this team is going to come off the bye. So I'm going to say they win 24-23. But the reason why I'm talking like this is because there was a time not that long ago, the 49ers were the 6th seed, and they went up against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. They were the 1 seed, and they came out so flat in that game. You just never know how a team's going to come off a bye, be it in the regular season or the postseason. I think the Seahawks are good enough to get over that, but I think this game is going to be way closer, and if you for a second think this is just going to be a copy and paste of Week 18, you haven't been paying attention.
Speaking of Week 18, these 2 teams went toe-to-toe less than 2 weeks ago. The Seattle Seahawks were on the road in that one, and the Seattle Seahawks did not allow the Niners to score a single touchdown, Mike. The Seahawks won 13-3. Do we see a similar outcome, or do you see something different happening on Saturday in the divisional round?
What is it? 1-1, right? In terms of this year, Seattle 1-1, 49ers 1-1. Is that right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay. This is a tough one. I mean, every time I go against Seattle, I always get burnt. I always get burnt in the chat. Everybody's trying to crucify me. This is a very, very tough game to choose, because just like Jake said, these 49ers don't die. I don't know. I don't care, man. They just don't die. I don't know exactly how it is, but this will put all the question marks of Sam Darnold, right? And I know you've been battling out there, Brando, about, Sam Darnold, but I think Seattle gets it done. I think I'm going to choose the side of Seattle here. I think the defense right now is playing at an ultimate level. And to say that, Sam Darnold is all these things we said, our seeing goes, all blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have to do very much. If you got that defense out there, that defense can turn over a game in a heartbeat. So I got Seattle winning this game. I got 27-20 Seattle winning over the 49ers.
2 for 2 on the Hawks. Brando, I go to you because you've earned it. The number 1 seed, and the last time out, your Hawks took down these Niners. Do they do so again? Sam Darnold does not have a playoff victory on his resume. Will he have one at the conclusion of Saturday night's game?
Yes, he absolutely will do so. I talked a couple weeks ago that I thought that the Niners injury situation was too far going up against this particular Seahawks team. And I think a lot of Niner fans didn't want to hear that at the time. They seem to embrace that a little bit more post-game. But it's just a valid thing. It's not an excuse. And yes, the Niners have been the zombie team that can just continue to progress on through this year. I've made that comparison to them. But it's now turning into a little bit like a Monty Python, sketch there in the Holy Grail, where they've got the leg cut off, arm cut off, fingers are gone, ears off, and they're just sitting there hopping along going, it's just a flesh wound. It's a flesh wound, I tell you. It's fine. And we're kind of like, yeah, we're good. We're heading on to the next round with it. It's a team if they were closer to full strength, I think this would be more of a challenge. But walking into our house, the energy that's at play here, the way this team has gotten it throughout all of this year for why they've driven to where they're at from a mentality standpoint, and that will help through the bye week. You could throw a lot on top of this, like the number 1 seed since 1990's got a 71% winning percentage coming off of that bye week into the second round. So it's very hard for those teams to win just in the basic nature of the teams are pretty even. Steven say nothing of where this injury situation is at and no Kittle. And while they did get maybe back Williams right now, I don't think he's anywhere near 100% with that hamstring. And now we are getting back Cross, who we were able to give the extra time for him to be at 100% of his health. We have all of our health across the board on this team coming into this game. You have a stadium that is going to be, let's not forget this, boys, the stadium when it is raucous and at its most crazy is the hardest environment to play in all of the NFL. That's not going to change this week. Niners aren't taking the stadium over this week. This is going to be a whole nother different kind of animal walking in that stadium this weekend. And like I said 2 weeks ago and was proven right, it's going to be a comfortable win. We probably should have had more points in the last game. If our all-pro kicker decided to start missing kicks on that day, we would have had a little bit more comfortable win. But I see it as a 27-13 game. I just think that it'll be a game that'll be tight early on. Both teams will be feeling each other out. But by the time you get to the third quarter, that ignition switch the Seahawks team can hit when it comes to points and the 30-point halves they put up time and time again this year. I think that ends up carrying the day. And I think we end up getting a very comfortable win here.
Jesse, the whole panel does not believe in your San Francisco 49ers, and now it comes down to you. You have been on record all year long that you do not believe in Sam Darnold in the big moment, and this is as big of a moment as it gets. The 1 seed at home against a division rival without a playoff win to show for his career thus far. The pressure is on. The last time out, your Niners lose by 10. They don't score a touchdown. Sam Darnold didn't have to do much in order to get this victory. How do you see this one panning out, and will we see a different result than we saw in Week 18?
Yeah, I got to be honest. It's tough on paper to pick the 49ers versus this Seattle team. I mean, the Seattle team is absolutely stacked. There's players all over the place, especially defensively. And this is a better offense than the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a better defense and it's a better offense. They're at home. They're rested. There's a lot of reasons to pick Seattle here. But let me lend some reasons as to why this game could be a little bit different than the last time around. First of all, let's not forget that the Seattle Seahawks in 2 games against the 49ers have not put up more than 13 points themselves. In fact, they put up 13 points in both games. Sam Darnold has 0 touchdown passes. The great Sam Darnold. I know, 0 touchdown passes in 2 games. The 49ers last game didn't have Trent Williams either. They didn't have Ricky Pearsall. Both those guys should be playing this week. Trent Williams for sure. Ricky Pearsall is limited practice. If they were to practice today, it would have been a limited basis. I believe he's going to play. Now, George Kittle did play last game, but let's not forget that he was coming off of an injury himself. He looked like a shell of himself in that game. And so when I look at it, maybe a 50% George Kittle in that game, the difference between him and Jake Tonjes is significant. But when it's a 50% Kittle and Jake Tonjes, I don't think it's that significant. So you add in Trent Williams, you add in Ricky Pearsall, and I would argue that somehow, some way that Eric Kendricks and Garrett Wallow are actually better at linebacker than what the 49ers had in the last game with Winters and Bethune, and Bethune went out with an injury. So I think the 49ers are actually a little bit healthier than they were coming into this game last time. And I have said that the Seahawks coaching staff is very good. I think the 49ers coaching staff from top to bottom, offense through special teams, is the best in the NFL. I think that the Chiefs are right there. And I definitely think that the Seattle Seahawks are right there. I think they've got an amazing coaching staff from offensive coordinator, defensive play caller, and McDonald, and then obviously your special teams coach. But the experience edge goes to the 49ers. And playoff football is not regular season football. This is the first time that they are going to be coaching in a playoff situation in the positions in which they are in. McDonald is going to be first-time head coach in this situation. There's a lot that goes into a playoff game, and I will tell you that the 49ers are going to be very well prepared. They were not prepared in Week 18 for whatever reason. They definitely fell flat. It just didn't turn out well, and maybe that's just simply Seattle's the better team. They were on that day. There's no doubt about it. I just feel like this time around, things will be slightly different. It's going to be a close game, in my opinion. Last game, I know that it was only a 10-point game, but gosh, it felt like a million. Seattle absolutely dominated that thing. Brock Purdy's also undefeated in Seattle. He's never lost in Seattle. So going on the road doesn't worry me. It's not ideal that the 49ers are playing on short week for sure. They just played on Sunday. Now they got to play on Saturday. Not a big fan of that. But overall, I just think that the 49ers find a way to get this thing done. And when I look at it, Robert Saleh sat back in a too-high shell most of that game. He cannot do that this game. He's going to have to sell out to stop the run and make Sam Darnold beat him. Listen, if Sam Darnold can go out and beat you on his right arm, by all means, all the credit in the world. But I got to see it happen. And hopefully the 49ers feel the exact same way, which is we cannot get beat by this run game. We have to put it on Sam Darnold's shoulders, and that's the game plan they come with. And we'll see what happens. Ultimately, I do think that the 49ers win this game 23-20 Niners.
As Jesse transitions hats, we transition from the divisional Saturday nightcap to the divisional Sunday nightcap, where the LA Rams are on the road in the Windy City at Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. And if you watch the first half of the Bears wildcard game against the Packers, you would not think the Rams would be playing the Bears, but they go down 21-3 and erase an 18-point deficit to move on. And Caleb Williams gets his first victory in the playoffs of his career. New coach Ben Johnson wins his first ever playoff game as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Of course, on the other end of things, the Rams come off of that scary victory over the Carolina Panthers, where it may have been a little too close for comfort, but still wound up getting it done. The only remaining quarterback in this entire picture that has won a Super Bowl is Matt Stafford. Will that experience matter? One thing I want to bring up, because we talk about the experience of these quarterbacks, how much it does matter, and I think you see that on a week-to-week basis in the postseason this time of year. Jake did allude to the weather earlier in Chicago, and as we know, when we get to January, the weather can get pretty wild out there in the Windy City. And Jake had kind of mentioned that Bears fans are hoping that it's going to be a bad weather game. Saw these stats, and I think this is why the Bears fans feel this way. Matt Stafford, the last 10 games outdoors in the rain and snow, 1-9 straight up with a 16-11 touchdown to interception ratio. The Rams in their last 10 games in Chicago, 2-8 with a -109 point differential. The forecast for Sunday evening in Chicago, 20 degrees, 18-mile-per-hour wind gusts, 55% chance of snow. I say all that to say if Matt Stafford goes in there and gets it done, it will be one epic victory. The question is, will he do that? Mike, it's the Rams, it's the Bears in the divisional round to close out the weekend. Who do you got in this one?
Well, damn. I mean, I didn't mention this before. What, 3 of these guys in the NFC West, and we're the 4th one out. It's crazy to see. But it just proves that this division is that damn good. But The only team that I have over here to save my sanity is the Bears. That's the only division or the only team that's out here right now that's going to save my sanity for any of these teams to go to the Super Bowl. But I don't know, man. Like, I love the storyline of Caleb, and I've been very, very high on Caleb. And like you guys said before, that throw was ridiculous on the 4th down. You must have it was nuts. But I think this game with the weather that's going to be into play is going to have to be really focused on the run game, right? It's going to be kind of that type of ugly game, like a 17-13 type of game. I just don't know if Sean McVay is going to be able to commit to the run. I just don't think he's going to be able to. That's one thing that I've
had it right the first time, Mike.
That's one thing that I've always said, that it's like that's his Achilles heel. He just doesn't commit to the run. And I don't know if they want to reinforce the Matthew Stafford MVP, you got this, brother, this is you. It might be the situation, but I think that is going to be the downfall of this Rams team. I want to pick the Rams so much because obviously the experience, but because of the weather, because it's in Chicago, because the weather is going to be, inclement weather with the snow, I'm going to stay in Chicago, man. I'm going to go Bears. I'm going to say 17-13 on a probably last drive. Caleb Williams has another crazy fantastic one. And 17-13, I got Bears winning this game.
Jesse, we are looking at a matchup here between two teams where one comes into the season, and I think everybody expected them to be here. The other team, I don't think anybody really expected them to get this far. I think they thought the Bears would bounce back, but to host a divisional round game, I don't know if that was on everybody's bingo card yet. Here we are. Rams off to Chicago. Are they going to be able to take care of the Bears and move on to the NFC Championship?
Man, this will be a very, very fun game. And when you look at a team that plays indoors, going outside and wind chills of 6 degrees and it's 17 degrees outside with possible snow flurries, normally you'd be like, man, this LA team, they don't know what's coming to them. They're built for weather, though. They can run the ball. They've got 2 running backs. They've got a good offensive line. You've got a quarterback whose arm can really cut through anything. And you've got 2 really good wide receivers. And ultimately, this 3 tight end set that they run with, they can play keep away through it all day long. And I think it's something unique that they can bring to the table, and they're very, very effective with. I think the Bears are a formidable foe. I think that they've had a fantastic season. But ultimately, I did pick the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I'm certainly not going to take them to lose in this round here. And that Bears defense is atrocious. It is not good whatsoever. One thing I will say, though, is that the Bears can run the football. And I don't think the Rams have been particularly well at stopping the run, to be real with you. And I think that could be an absolute problem as well. So I'm curious to see how this one plays out. I think both teams can score in spite of the cold weather, just because I don't think there's going to be a lot of precipitation. Some snow flurries potential, but I don't think that that's really going to play a factor. It's not going to be like piles of snow or anything like that. So I think both teams will be able to put up some points. Ultimately, though, I do think that we get an all NFC West NFC Championship game, and that will be the 49ers and the Rams. Rams 27-23.
Brando, you mentioned a little bit earlier that these Rams are the most formidable foe remaining that your Seahawks could potentially take on should they get to the NFC Championship. Should they get to the NFC Championship, who will they be taking on? Those Rams or the Chicago Bears? Who takes it on Sunday night?
Yeah, I think it is going to be the Rams. I do think it is going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I want to echo Jesse's sentiments in the respect of it's being silly by the Bears fans thinking that they're better suited to play within the snow than the Rams just because indoor and Stafford stats that go back to him as a freaking lion. Really? We're referencing that time period? They're built to run inside on top of being a team built to run the ball, which if you're going to be a team in the snow and, you run the ball if you're outside zone, that's going to get harder, get linemen going lateral, but they could just get downhill on you. So if it gets that way, it's going to be working in the Rams' favor, not the Bears' favor, if any team. And the same thing that like Mike had said about, the Rams having the penchant for getting away from the run game, which I think is true. And I think even this last game in Carolina, there's some times there where you could say stay with the run game a little bit more. That's also a little bit of what Ben Johnson can do too. I thought he got a little bit that way in that game with the Packers, even before getting a little bit out of hand. I think it's going to be tough, though, for the Rams. They've got some parts there. Do the Bears offensively then get after them? Luther Bird in the slot's a problem. And Colston Loveland, I don't know how those Rams linebackers are going to be able to stay with him. He is a big-time problem. But Stafford, the way that the Bears are winning right now is really, it's almost like the less of the on-script stuff from the regular season. It's become more and more this as the year's gone on, where it all becomes on to Caleb make miracles happen. And it's very hard to ask your quarterback to be living in that way in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs. You eventually come up to a game where he just doesn't have enough juice in a particular game to get that done. And I just don't think he's going to be able to against a really, really good, stout Rams team. 34-30 Rams.
Jake, you've thought your Rams were the best team in football all year long. So did many. And as the year came to a conclusion, there started to be some people who were getting off the bandwagon, but not you. Despite the ups and downs, they're right where you thought they'd be in the divisional round with a chance to move on, to have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. That is Sunday night. That is against Chicago. Matt Stafford, the likely MVP. Does he and these LA Rams move on to the NFC Championship and take on one of these two remaining foes in the NFC West?
Well, I just got to say, I love working with these guys, including you, Z-Bob. But, Mike hits on giving up the run or abandoning the run. The McPass thing was funny. Jesse hits on the 13 personnel, which I knew he would. And Brando literally, that is the exact thing that I've been saying. Like, we're talking about stats. Like, I love history, but have context. We're talking about Detroit days. The Sean McVay's 2-2 in freezing weather. 3 of those are not with Stafford. He's 1-0 with Stafford. The other 2 are with Goff, and 1 is with Baker Mayfield in a season that was over, So it is funny when you get into the history of all that and you don't have context, how it can kind of, sway people one way or another. The way I see it is this. I have a lot of respect for what the Bears have done. Maybe I lost a little bit for Ben Johnson because he acted like an asshole, and honestly, that might come to pass because Matt LaFleur is best friends with Sean McVay. And guess whose brother is over on the Rams coaching staff? That's right. It's Mike LaFleur. So don't think that they didn't see that. And definitely don't think that Matt LaFleur hasn't been on the phone with Sean McVay this week. I'll just say that. But that said, Chicago is a really interesting team. We saw them against the 49ers. I think that was the best showcase of who they are. They'll give up the pass. Dennis Allen is all about trying to create turnovers, and he got one on the first drive of the game against Brock Purdy. Wasn't enough because he gave up 42 points in that game. You can throw on this team. Jesse mentioned it. They run pretty well. But what Jesse didn't mention is how well the Rams do stop the run. And, they had a couple bad, moments with Seattle and Atlanta, but they were really banged up. Since Quentin Lake came back and Poona Ford's 100%, they really stifled Carolina and forced Bryce Young to have to win that on his own. So I feel good about the run defense. I feel really good about the 13 personnel. I can't stress that enough. It's like people are acting like this is the greatest show on turf and they want to be an 11 personnel or 10 personnel or whatever. 13 and 12. Chicago's terrible against 12 personnel defensively, but they're not really good against anything defensively. And they don't get a ton of pressure. Like they have moments where they'll get 20 to 25 pressures in a game, but they have a lot of 10, 12 pressure games this year. If you can't get pressure on quarterback Matthew Stafford, he is going to eat you alive. And then on top of that, you have Kyren Williams, you have Blake Corum. These are guys that are going to keep your offense on the field. So I do expect with Kevin Dotson likely to be back here, likely to get Josh Wallace on the defensive end and get back Terrence Ferguson. I expect the Rams to be able to do what they want to do offensively. Now, what it comes down to is defensively, Caleb Williams is such a handful. But if this is a game where, there's snowfall, I think it takes away a lot of what Caleb wants to do, and I think it goes in the Rams' favor. Let's say there's no snowfall and it's just cold. Well, Caleb just played in a cold game, and he threw some, he had some mistakes, and he threw the ball away. He had 2 interceptions, and then he was able to come through and make some great throws, but you can see it. It's like I used to call Josh Allen this. He's like John McClane from Live Free or Die Hard, where Josh Allen would turn the ball over like crazy, but he'd do some incredible stuff as well. Now Josh Allen takes better care of the football. Caleb Williams is better this year at taking care of the football, but still, he's got that erratic play in him, and he does get away with some things. And the reason why I say John McClane from Live Free or Die Hard, if you guys ever saw that movie, he shoots himself through the chest to kill the guy that's holding him. So there you go. That's Caleb Williams in a nutshell, shooting himself through the chest. He can inflict pain to get out of a certain situation. There's a lot of, money ball there. And I think this secondary that was holding, they had one of the fewest explosive play rates in the league given up. That was when Quentin Lake was healthy, and he's back. So I do expect that this secondary is going to start to look better. I thought Emmanuel Forbes, it wasn't talked about, but I thought he played really well because he's the guy that gave up 2 touchdowns last time he saw the Panthers. So I think there's some good things there, but this pass rush is going to be the golden goose here. And they had 35 pressures last week. I think Carolina has a decent offensive line. The Bears are without, keep this in mind, they're without, what's his name?
Left tackle.
Yeah, the left tackle. I'm blanking on his name now. Trapilo. Yeah. So they're without him. Benedette is back there. I know he played earlier in the season, but he's not Trapilo. And then on top of that, they're without TJ Edwards at linebacker. So I think those are things that you can take advantage of. But that said, like Brandon mentioned, you got to look out for Colston Loveland. You got to look out Luther Burden. They still have DJ Moore. They still have Romo Dunze. They have Kyle Monungai. They have DeAndre Swift. So there's a lot of weapons there. This is a good offensive line as well, be it as it may that they lost their left tackle. This is not going to be an easy game. I'm taking the Rams 27-23. And I think cheat code here, if the Rams are going to win any game, just go just a little bit below where the line is, and that's where your prediction should be. Jesse, you hit it right on the head. I think it's going to be 27-23. I think the line was 4.5. So I was like, screw it. I'll give them a 4-point win because they don't cover.
There you have it, folks. The stage is set, and what a stage it is. The final 4 teams remain in the divisional, in the NFC. We cannot wait to see how it all unfolds this upcoming weekend. We also can't wait to dive in to these super chats. We're at the hour mark. It's time for the best part of the show. Brando, if you'd cue me in, it is super chat time. And as we transition into super chat time, shout out to each and every one of you. We are nearing 1,700 live concurrent viewers late on a Tuesday night as we get ready for the divisional round. You guys are the absolute best. Speaking of the absolute best, how about we kick things off with a tangerine from our girl, Megan?
Yeah. So sorry.
Thank you, Megan.
We just hit 9K, by the way.
Come on.
I was just looking for
9K.
that.
I was just too. I just was pulling it up. I'm like, how close are we to 9K? That's awesome.
We hit it.
Let's go, folks. Thank you so much for all those that have subbed up. You are awesome for doing that.
That is absolutely incredible. I got a feeling if we do get a
on
Super Bowl
2-year
representative,
birthday.
that is true. By the way, happy birthday to us.
2 years old.
I forgot the cake, but we are 2 years old. Brando, blow out the candles for me. Everybody, if you want to lean in and just go.
We're not going to blow into the mic there, Z-Bot.
Yeah, that's he got me on that one. I
little sketch.
I should have got myself there. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. The screenshots live forever. I've learned that recently.
That's true.
No, really? That's a thing? Well, what's wrong with this? Is that a bad thing?
The way people have been photoshopping Jesse and Jake recently with some of these, I mean, it's getting almost AI. I'm waiting to turn on a video one day and it'll be somebody going crazy with the AI with you guys on this.
I was just gonna say I forgot about the Photoshop skills in this room, so I will need to be more careful moving on. But anyway, thank you all so much for 9K. So many of you in here tonight. We appreciate you all, including Megan. Tangerine to kick us off. Megan saying, I'm reminded of Jesse's comment in week 2 after Brando suffered throughout the show with sourdough Sam. Quote, a bet's a bet. I guess for the 12s, it was a case of all things to those who wait. Round 3, Jesse, you know you wanna.
Oh, I'm in. I am in for sure.
We just got to figure out the terms. That's all. We'll get this hashed out.
I've seen some suggestions. People want to shave heads and do tattoos. I don't listen. Tattoos is definitely not going to happen. I consider a shaved head, but it's not going to be like a full bald shave. It'd be like a buzz cut, like a 3 up top, something like that. I'd consider that. I'd consider it. I'm open to it.
Wow.
I'd have a bet.
I got a big old, I had to get stapled down in the center, so it's going to look crazy when I do. So if I have to, look extra wild.
You'll go from, a hat bet to wishing that you had a hat on top of your head for whoever winds up losing this.
Yeah, you guys will be like, put it on. I don't want to see it anymore.
That could be potentially one of the bigger moments in the NFC West Roundtable history. We'll keep you apprised at the final terms of the bet between those two coming into the divisional round. Let's give a shout out to the once later becoming a YouTube member. How about it? Welcome to
Appreciate
the
you.
squad.
Welcome.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Taylor, like is Kyle's daddy. Sorry for what's coming, Niners. Bosh. What up, fellas? My Niners got the big dub against the Eagles, but division games are hard, and this won't be a repeat of Week 18, even if we don't win. Longtime lurker of the show, Jesse gets too much hate. Oh, it was a combined word there. I thought he was throwing out a word at me I never heard before, but too much hate.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
100%. It's some of the Niner stuff out there that's with that. Just he's got a lot of love too on it, but the people that are out loud, and maybe that's what Jesse's doing it right. They say when you're doing it right, Jesse, it's like if you don't have haters, then you're not doing it right.
True.
Well, what I would say is look at the people. I mean, they're a bunch of blowhards that don't know fuck about football. So, that's
they're
what
never
I find.
coming through with an intelligent angle on Jesse when they're trying to come with it. It's never.
Every
I've
time.
seen so many pop up on my feed too. It's just like, Jesus, you guys.
And why do you always want
he's on your
positive?
team?
Everyone always wants a positive spin on everything. Nah, Jesse tells the truth, man. Leave him alone.
It's the people that just literally all they do is do like those memes, and it's always like provocative shit. Like those are the type of people that are like, Jesse sucks. He clickbait. Ugh. It's like you just can tell the lack of IQ is just astounding.
I'll say this. Hate is not the worst thing that you can get. Indifference is. So if you have an opinion, whether you like me or hate me, then that means I'm doing something right. I just don't want you to be indifferent. So,
by the way, everything is emphasized with the hat on. These nice,
I know.
awesome speeches, by the way, it's just
nothing greater than him making the case that they're going to beat us this Sunday as he's wearing a Seahawks hat on his head. It's the beautiful irony is just, it's unbelievable.
He needs to start quoting Gandhi.
187 said he wanted me to flap my arms like their wings with the hat on.
Oh
is that, there it is, 187.
Now I might grab that. I'm putting that after effects. I'm grabbing that up.
Mark Sanchez. Speaking of that hat, Mark's saying the hat looks glorious. Merry Hatmas to Jesse Freddie K. Boom Boom Baseman saying that he loves it too. I think everybody, you're looking at that hat, you can't do anything but love it. Now, that is awesome. Quinn saying, if you agree to a jersey bet, I'll put up 100 for it. Listen, Quinn, we raised the bar. We raised the bar. If you're still here, the bar has been raised exponentially. Yeah. And Jesse said he's not a jersey guy. He's more of a shave his head bald guy. So he would rather shave his head than wear a Darnold jersey. And the way he's been talking about Darnold, I don't blame him. Let's move on.
This one's good. Hold on. All Day Niner says, dye your hair the other team's color. It can be one of those temporary dyes that's in there for like 2 days, but that might be a way to go. That might be the way to go.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Ooh,
that's
Brandon
possible.
Looking like Jawan Jennings Super Bowl?
yeah. He does not make me think that look can be pulled off. I mean, I look at it and go, yeah, I see the try there, buddy, but it's that's a tough one to land.
That's a good one.
I think Brandon
like
should have to
because
carry...
you can do the temporary like washout ones. You know what I mean? But it'll be just good enough for the show. That might be the way to go.
You could wear a wig for the whole show, like a red wig.
That would be cool.
No, it's got to be dyed.
Dress up like Ronald McDonald.
It'd have to be dyed, probably.
How about Brandon? You have to hold a giant boombox for the entire duration, 2 hours nonstop, playing the Niners song. That would be another one we could add to the mix. We have Jonah, not to be confused with John Naylor. Screenshot of Jesse makes for a great shirt. Get on it. Get on it. Quinn back in the building.
Would be flapping the arms probably.
Oh, by the way, Quinn said it doesn't have to be just a jersey, so he's willing to put up the money for the hair paint as well.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow. Quinn just wants to see you guys throw your money on the table. He wants to see you put the cards down, and good. Luckily for us, you guys are willing to do it. Chris Smoke Hawk Nestlin, love that. Time for face paint and a walk down the street.
Telling you, can escalate quick. It's like, okay, the losers got to go buck naked down the opposition city streets in the middle of the night, running and streaking
through the quad into the gymnasium.
I've seen some of those people that are like, if so and so loses, I'll do whatever the top comment says, and I'm like, how could you possibly put yourself in that situation?
No.
That one Eagles girl.
That's what I'm thinking of.
The homeless guy. Oh,
yes. It's like, what do you do? How do you come back from that?
This is good. This is good. I like. No. I like this one. Oh, okay.
No. Love song. I want to hear Jesse sing.
I'm not singing. That's literally there's 0% chance of that happening. A love poem, though. I think this is good. I like where this is going.
I
We
also
got to
think
come up
that
with something for
Brando.
Brandon.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Brando, I feel like he could write a mean poem. I just got that. I get that vibe.
I could roll, but I wouldn't. But then whom I ran the poem about the greatness of
Kyle
like,
Shanahan.
Kyle
Yeah,
Shanahan. Yeah, that might be the way to go. Okay. Hey, this is good. I like this. This is
getting
on the
good.
table. All right.
This
All right.
is
Let's keep
getting
going. We
good.
might see something better, but I like this one.
No AI usage.
No, I
No,
was
you
just gonna
can't
say-
use
No,
AI.
no.
You got
to come from the heart. Got to be sincere from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight from the heart.
100%.
Yeah.
Handwritten. By the way, that way we don't get any copy and paste BS. It's the
love it.
real
Yes.
cheese. I've got
Yeah,
2 of those
I
from
like
back
this.
in the day. Looking good, Jesse. I was
Yeah,
talking with
he is.
Jesse earlier. I had a Penn State one growing up. It's the first thing I thought of. I had that hat hanging on my wall all like forever growing up. So I saw it and I immediately got brought back to that. Those hats are sweet. But like I said, you got to have the logo for it. Like you couldn't do it for everyone. The Seahawks logo is absolutely perfect. It was like it was made for it. We got John back in.
Here.
He's saying you're a good sport, Jesse. No doubt
Hey,
about it.
Brandon was a
Freddie.
great sport. I got to return the favor.
Freddie's saying we should maybe add some pom-poms to the mix for our bet this upcoming week. Holy hand grenade. Take a moment to thank the Bears for being part of the NFC West playoffs. Thanks for playing. Well, seriously, that's what it's all come down to. I make big plays. Seahawks tattoo would look awesome on Jesse.
No tattoos.
Yeah, that's
No,
too
I'm not
much.
doing a tattoo.
I could. I don't know if I could live with myself having a Niner tattoo on me
Never.
either. That'd be that would be. That would be hard.
No.
Niner
I'd
tramp
almost rather
stamp.
cut a toe off than get a tattoo. Like I swear to
Niner
God. I
tramp
don't-
stamp.
If
How
I
could
was
you
going to
do
get a tattoo, it would go on my ass, and then I couldn't show that on YouTube anyways, and we'd get banned. So it's not gonna
Niner
I don't know
tramp
how
stamp,
people
and
do
then
that.
like next time, like we're all, hey, like Jesse's like, hey, can you go and get me that cup, Brandon?
Something's on the just dropped on the floor behind you.
When I come in the house with the $150 Aldi order and I tell Jesse to go pick all of it up downstairs, that's the reason why I'm going to do it. So I can see that tramp stamp. We got Mark Sanchez. So the Niners are all of a sudden going to get beat by the Hawks with no Kittle, no defense, and a Hawks rested defense with no injuries. Bold move, Cotton, says Mark. We got Cal. Cal? What do you think here? Cal?
Hey, Cal.
Kai,
That's like how
Levy.
Carmen say, hey, Cal.
Hey, Cal. Or maybe it's Kai. Yeah, Kai.
Yeah, Kai
Lee.
Levy, maybe.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Mike. Seriously, I mean, you know, this is a process for me. Loser has to make and upload a hype video of the other team on their channel for the conference champ game. Wow, you guys are getting real creative here. We got
I
Ethan,
told you.
Jesse,
Smile for the
smile for the thumbnail. We got screenshots being taken left. and right,
Wait, I
would
actually kind
imagine.
of like that one, but I like
The hype
how
video?
About, how about this? How about this? How about this? All right. The loser has to literally be the creator of the team that they lose to for a week. So you have to literally make content about the 49ers for a week, and you would have to make Seattle content for a week.
Boy, it'd be
can't
so
do
hard
it. No,
because the
it'll
thing
screw
with
up your
this,
algorithm.
Yeah, YouTube-
That-
it will.
that's
It's
true,
it's
that's
the algorithm,
true.
and people are super sensitive already about stuff like that. So it's, you get people unsubscribing potentially. in that-
100%.
in that,
You could create a second channel and do it for like a show or something. Just act like you're a new creator to the game. Just like
I
I like
honestly,
the poem. I
The
like
poem.
I do like the poem. I'm not
I
gonna
like the
lie.
poem.
I do like the poem. I think it's a great idea.
the new channel is kind of wild. But I don't hate it.
Imagine it takes off like it's a huge hit, so you got to just change teams.
Yeah,
like you
actually,
Right.
yes. Do the
Goes
new
viral.
channel. Because
By the
if
way-
it takes off, you're screwed. Like you're like, oh,
I'm not a
crap.
fan now, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Speaking of the poem, Phil was right on the same wavelength there. He's saying the loser has to write a love letter to the opponent's quarterback and fan base and read it aloud on here and their channels. I think we're going to have to, I mean, I do like the hair thing. I think that's still got to be a part of it. But I
Yeah.
think incorporating one
So
of
I think
these,
shaved head and poem. That's what I'd be going with. Shaved
I
head and
really
poem.
like
Oof. I don't know. Both is rich. I'm not gonna lie.
That's playoffs,
We'll
man.
see.
Stakes higher.
was gonna
Stakes
say.
bigger, Jesse.
that
Can't get
they
them
are.
knees knocking at this
The
time.
poem to Sam Darnold is pretty rough already. I gotta actually think this through. Ugh.
Woo,
I mean, really?
He's remembering that injury situation. He's like,
Having to wear a Sam Darnold jersey backwards where it says Darnold the entire show would also be pretty legit.
oh, that'd be awesome.
They make those terrible hats, by the way, the jersey hats. Maybe you could get one of those too. I mean, we were just.
I didn't know that existed.
Oh, dude, don't
I
look them
wish
up.
I didn't.
They
know
are
it
horrid.
existed.
Whoa, easy. Mike, as an Arizona Cardinals fan, we're just watching all the other teams enjoying themselves while we are the red-headed stepchild. Bronze Sausage, the best YouTube username on the internet. Good luck to the Niners. I'm going 21-10 Hawks. Myers won't miss any this time. Love y'all. Go Hawks. And Jesse, nice hat, dude. Love you as well, Bronze Sausage. At least he's got your Niners scoring one more touchdown than they did the last time, Jesse, but he does think his Hawks are getting it done. T-Guns.
Oh, no.
Here's what we could do. We could do the poem.
T-Guns.
My God.
Perfect. The Patriots, nice.
I was literally just about to say, what is a Patriots fan doing in there until I realized I was staring at my
He's got a Broncos hat. He's got a Bronco hat.
And Bill Belichick's hoodie.
Beautiful. This is good. I will say we could do the poem, but you kept your hat. I've got mine. We would wear the hat during the poem reading. I think we could do that.
I'm with it.
That's good.
I'm with it.
It would be a great way to kick the show off. I mean, the poem is happening.
Could play some sad music behind it.
I like that.
Rain sounds.
T-Guns, the one other element missed, there is a Houston Texans logo on the microphone just for the hell of it. So we have the Broncos logo on there, the Patriots. So it's all remaining foes that could potentially be in the way of the Buffalo Bills. Love it. Tony K, go Hawks. But this dono is for Mike showing up to represent, as Jake insinuates, his small-time team. Go get your coach and come out firing next year. We're rooting for it. The NFC West, it's already the best. The Cardinals get in the mix. Look out. We got M. Jordan. Love seeing the Hawks so well represented on this show. But Z-Bot, I think you should bring a 49er fan on. I feel bad they don't have any representation. I know we doubled up on the Hawks today. Look at on your left side of your screen.
We're coming in so strong, man. We need to.
Pretty good. Stafford, 6 playoff wins. Purdy, 5 playoff wins. Sam Darnold, ghost, 0 playoff wins. Caleb Williams, 0. Caleb Williams,
well, he's
0
got 1. Yeah, he just won.
He does indeed. Good catch.
He's already trying to take it away. He's like, nope, didn't count.
Pretty good is saying that experience in the playoffs matters, but we will see if that holds true this weekend. That we will. Mark back in the building. Last week, Jake wanted people to use BTA correctly. Watch the highlights to Oregon.
All right. Calm down. Go back to jail. Get your time's up. Your collect call's over. Calm down.
Shots fired.
Oh, well done, Mark. Dylan, San Fran better have bought a whole case of tequila for every player that's going to be hobbling and limping back to the locker room from the Seattle ass whooping they have coming. Looking good, Jesse. How about Kittle, man? What a guy. I would love to hang out with George Kittle for a night. I got a feeling I'd be walking a little bit uneasy the next morning.
Is he retiring, Jesse? Is he going to be able to come back on this?
I listen, man. He'll be 34. He's going to miss all next season. I imagine it's not ideal, but I have a feeling he'll come back and play. We'll see how effective he can be at that age.
He's like it. Wow. He's like at that 1,000 yards. He's like that 1,000 yards beneath that auto mark for a tight end to get into the Hall of Fame. So it's also like very important.
He'll make it just because he's such a good blocker too. Like there's no way he doesn't make it. But man,
he won't miss next season. I don't think. Guys are coming back.
It's January. He got
January,
January.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Remember Greenlaw, Jake?
Yeah,
that was a younger player.
I mean, yeah, I know, but he had complications to his injury. Remember? So like I mean, I remember Cam Akers. He had it in the off season, and he came back before the season ended. So
even if he comes back, he's not. You know how this goes, dude. The Achilles, it's going to take a full year to.
No,
it
I
won't
know.
be till the next season that he's right.
I'm just hoping he can come back by like October, because I mean, that sucked. That hurt.
Yeah, that sucks for him.
Yeah.
George Kittle was one of the first players I interviewed, so I definitely have a soft spot for him. And
he's awesome.
I hate injuries, and I hated it because right away. You guys, we've been watching sports forever. You know, when that you see that calf like just completely pop, and you just know it's Achilles and it's done. And it's really unfortunate because that's a routine tackle that happens all the time. And sometimes you're just in the wrong position, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it's the worst one.
To see. Josh Schmitz, excited for the narrative to shift to we've never seen Darnold in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Go Brando and go.
You let him know, Josh.
That's fine.
Go Hawks, bro. Let him know.
Freddie Baseman. He's thinking we're going to see some points. He thinks the playoffs equals points. So he's thinking we'll see a little bit more potentially out of both the Niners and the Seahawks in that game. 16 total points combined the last time they went at it. T-Guns back in. Jesse, toilets are made for bathrooms, not headgear. Perry Toll. Perry Toll here. I just saw the man that attacked me in the Indy Post on here. How are you getting the phone mark?
No way.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
Oh, that's how do you even? Never mind.
I don't even know what we're talking about, to be honest.
It's
with
the
you.
Sanchez, Mark Sanchez,
Mark
the guy
Sanchez,
who
the
Mark
Vikings
Sanchez
up.
incident.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jeez.
I hope we don't get canceled for that.
Right.
I will say I have no clue. Seahawks. Bang, bang, Purdy on the ground, gang. We got Sean Naylor. Jesse, you look a lot smarter with that Hawks hat on. Purdy, good.
Yeah, he does.
Purdy, 5 playoff wins is greater than Sam Darnold, 0. Experience matters in the playoffs. Purdy good wanted to let us know, by the way, twice how much this experience matters. He's doubling down on what Purdy's bringing to the table. He's also saying Sam will have his chance to show he has exercised his demons in a do-or-die game this week, and that he will, Purdy, no question about it. Nitsu, if I had $1 for every time they move the goalpost for the first black QB ever, Sam Darnold, I'd be a millionaire.
What?
Really?
I don't even know what's
Really?
happening.
I think he did this last week, and I was so confused then too. I don't know.
Yeah.
what's going
It's
on
just
here.
a bit, I guess.
I
Yeah, I think it's
guess,
that
yeah.
Marshawn Lynch tweet with he called him his, what is it, Ginger Cuz or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. Seth, Jesse might have better takes with the honk hat.
Oh,
Might
man.
need to keep rolling with it. We'll see what happens.
Good
John,
choice.
Brando, can Christopher Walken comment on Jesse's new hat?
He's already got so many, but now he has the best one. My favorite, well, all the time. And like they say, Jesse, you'll be smarter foot. You know you will. You know you want to. Warm in it beneath your head. Warm.
Is it warm under there, Jesse? Is it nice and warm, or what's the deal there? It feels like it.
I'm low key kind of sweting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This thing
It's like the
there's
mascots
just no
when they're beneath and you know
breathing.
they're
It's just
dying.
full- Look at this thing, dude. It's like thick, foam.
huge.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that thing. It's just massive.
Insulated.
I don't know.
Feels like it's
And yet it
bulletproof.
looks better than the hat Brandon wore week 1, week 2.
Yeah, that was epic. I love that sound.
That was awful. That thing's horrible.
Drama. I like this spot. Shanny as a big underdog with no pressure. Hawks are a young, healthy, rested team with all the pressure. What could go wrong?
What
Dylan,
pressure,
I
man?
do. I
Nobody
do like
thought
the
we should be
trash
here.
talk. I do like
love
the
the
trash
trash
talk.
talk.
Do you say
Yeah.
Uchenna and Wosu? Do you see what he said under Fred Warner?
Oh, yeah.
Because Fred Warner is the practice window opened, and they're saying that if they win this game, he'll be able to play. And he went and commented under his IG and was like, "You're not going to make it. We're winning.
Your
this
season
week,
comes to an
basically."
end, brother, is what he
Brother,
said.
yeah.
Yeah. And
I love it.
I, look, there's no pressure. There's a
Better back
quiet
it up.
confidence here. There's no pressure here though on the Hawks. Nobody thought we were supposed to be here. Nobody. This is all house money right now. And so like, this is like, well, they're in their Super Bowl window at the end of the time where it's like, if they don't do it this year, it's like, no, we're loose and free and letting it rip. So quite the opposite.
Yeah, I'm living exactly through what you said before what you just said, Brando. That it's not a fun place to be where you are just expected to win despite being
Right.
the sixth seed.
Exactly. Like your Bills team. Yeah, exactly. Like your Bills team are in that place. And it's just, this is the life cycle of being a contender, right? You do get to that. We're going to get to that place where we'll be in that stage, but we're not there. Hell, 2 weeks ago, most of the people were still picking the Niners to beat us. So it's not like we're looked at as this team that's like everyone's in thinking they're going to get. So it's like, nobody's really still kind of counting on us. So it's a good position
Yeah,
to be in.
how much things have changed. That game was what, a 1-point spread 2 weeks ago. Now it's far larger. So it just kind of goes to show you how quickly things change within just a couple of weeks. Dylan stopping back in. Philly lost the game more than San Fran took it from them. Drop balls, costly penalties, and a lack of alignment from players to coaches. Philly frauds. Well, they took advantage of it. Still had to go down the field, Jesse, and get a game-winning touchdown. That's exactly what Brock Purdy did to get it done. John Naylor back in. Jake nervously eyeing Jesse. Daniel,
I was vindicated for the trust tree, by the way, because I don't care that Purdy threw 2 interceptions. What did I say? I trust him to make the play more than Jalen Hurts, and they both had an opportunity to go down the field. And I've been a critic of Brock Purdy this year, but that was surgical, that last drive. So I don't care.
No doubt. Daniel, Rams can't close games. Bears play best in the fourth. Yeah, they've been making a living on these comebacks, but the problem is that when does that living make you go broke? It's a really tough place
one thing
to be.
I didn't mention is that the Bears can't get after the quarterback, and that's the worst thing that you can have against Matthew Stafford. He's going to dice you up if he has time, man. It's not going to go well. So
we got
Sean
Drew.
McVay owns Dennis Allen too. Like, it's bad. So that's
Drew
another
saying, Z-Bot, I saw you out for a watch party, and it was a stranger. Good pregame show, though. Yeah, I literally couldn't do the postgame show after the Bills game the other day because my voice was so bad. Sounded like Christian Bale's Dark Knight off a carton of Pall Malls, and I just could not do it. So
Where is she? Yeah, say, where is she? Give me a where is she?
Where is she? Yeah, it was not good, but I was able to recover, get off the IR, ready for the divisional. Mark back in. Jennings talking that shite. Okay, Demonwari, we'll say hello again, like Bam Bam saying hi to Vernon Davis. Just a good old hi. How are you today? The dark side. We got John Naylor yet again. Jesse's better half will demand you wear that hat. Dylan, once again, 49ers faithful, having real belief they're going to go into Seattle and win after a week ago. Getting their most embarrassing loss in years just makes this season that much more special. 3 points for San Francisco. Did you find that game to be that embarrassing, Jesse?
I don't think it was embarrassing. I just think that they got beat pretty soundly. It happens. All this, the great thing about this is that game meant jack shit. It means nothing going into this game. Literally nothing. You got a division game, third time through. The 49ers are banged up, sure, but they're certainly not scared of the Seahawks. Seahawks aren't scared of the 49ers. Both these teams believe they're going to win, and we'll see what happens. But that game 2 weeks ago means almost nothing at this point.
When you get to the divisional round, it doesn't matter now. Especially because, like you said, Purdy, I think, what is he, 6-0 in Seattle? Like, you could argue also the 49ers are a better road team. They're 7-2 this year on the road. So, like, I don't necessarily feel like losing home field advantage killed them. You know what I mean? I think
Pittsburgh
really the
Steelers had won 23 consecutive Monday Night Football games. They just lost 30-6 on Monday night. So we can find all these stats and all these trends, right? But, you're playing the game in the postseason.
No,
This ain't the regular
absolutely.
season. Yeah,
Absolutely. But it also doesn't seem like you want to be the home team this postseason either.
No kidding.
So,
Yeah.
There's different home field advantages in different places, though. There's different crowds that get different side of liveliness to it. And I think that you're going to get back some of that old-timey feeling back in that stadium this week, Jake.
Alfonso.
In regards to that.
Such a tough game.
It's going to be cold, Jake. Going to be real cold for the MVP, but he's saying the Rams are going to take it. Go Rams, baby. It's going to be cold, but listen, you got the MVP. We'll see if you can overcome it. Propa, credit to Jake for believing in the Niners, although I got to point out saying it gets cold in SoFi. Come on, bro. This is why we get made fun of out west. Yeah, they might turn the snow machine on in SoFi.
Propa must have been in my show earlier. So what I said was everyone, says that SoFi is a dome when it's not. It's open air. And I was there for the Eagles game last year, primetime, and it was freezing. So, I don't want to hear the whole, they play at a dome and all that. I get, what, the sentiment is, but it is still open air, and you still feel the damn cold. So that's all I was saying. But Yeah. Anyway.
Cedric dropping off a tangerine for the fellas. Raise your hand if you are glad that the Philadelphia Eagles are out of the playoffs. Shout out to the Rams and my Niners for keeping the NFC West alive and well. And shout out to the Bills. Congrats, Z-Bot. Appreciate you, Cedric.
Thank you, Cedric.
I'm bummed because I wanted to wipe the floor with that team. I can't stand Philly. And I really felt like the Rams could have done it, but oh well. 49ers just had to take care of business like I knew they would.
It's a very, very unlikable team. I mean, I don't know how you can like them outside of Philly.
Hold on. Z-Bot, you haven't gotten your chance yet. Don't forget, Nick Sirianni remember he was coming back after he beat you guys. They're talking that now. They're not talking anymore. And we talked about that, I think, a few weeks ago. And AJ Brown looked at him and was like, are you freaking kidding me? Then those two get into it on the sidelines and they end up losing in the first round. I think that is the most hilarious thing ever because I've never seen a coach talk that much shit over they won because Josh Allen missed a throw he hits 99 out of 100 times.
That was the inevitable conclusion. I thought the Niners were going to win. I remember I said last week, yes, I think you're underestimating the Niners, but this was more of a bet against Philadelphia. There was no way that team was repeating the way that they've been playing. And that coach, I just don't understand the approach that he takes. And anybody who saw that clip you're referring to, Jake, I don't know how you can watch that and be like, yeah, that's my coach. I watch that and say I'd be embarrassed if that was my coach. It's the exact opposite of what a leader of men should be doing in that situation. One of the most exclusive and one of the most coveted jobs in sports. And you're acting like you're in the stands and a fan. And you saw AJ Brown respond the way that he did. And I think you could realize when he did roll his eyes there, Jake, that it was never a supportive look like people were trying to make it out to be. They're watching him and they're saying, this guy just, I don't know how he's my coach. That's kind of my takeaway. Yeah. Joseph Umberg, 49-6 Seattle. Just put us out of our misery. Wow, we're getting that
he's doing
reverse
the reverse psychology
that's the
thing
reverse.
he does.
Yeah, we are indeed. We are about to enter into rapid fire mode. Jesse's got a hard out at 11. He said he's got to do some practice poem writing. I don't know what that's for, but he's got a class, I guess, so he's got to get to that. Let Brandon know why the Seahawks are blocking Niners fans to buy tickets for the game. I think all teams do this, and it's good. You got to keep your fans in the house for these games.
It's completely odd. It's people doing reseller stuff too, and even fans selling. It's people that buy the tickets for the whole intention of reselling. And that needs to get exercised from every stadium as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. No doubt. Feed me more. Stack the boss, Jesse. That's exactly what I want. Stack the boss. I don't know what that is.
Box. Stack the box.
Stack the box.
But that's also what the Niners don't do. So it's not going to be a strategy they employ.
Matty Plowden, NFC West Roundtable rocks. Jake, my guy, the passion and excitement abound, and I don't give a shit if you like it or not. I follow the others now, and they are passionate creators as well. He's adding in that J.A. is a dog. The guy isn't from this planet. I mean, he suffered 3 injuries that might have had any other person done for the year, and the guy, man. I don't understand the guy. He's unbelievable. Wyatt, big Brock is going to put the team on his back and run the table. Been playing with house money all year. Time to put it all on red. I like that. Well said, Wyatt. We got
2 roulette comments today.
Yeah, I know.
How about that?
I love it. We haven't got the black yet, though, right? We got a green and a red.
Yeah. Well, I said green earlier, so.
That's what I'm saying. You had the green. We got to wait for somebody to put it all on black.
Oh, yeah.
Upper left, Jake. This season after the Seahawks bye, they went to Washington and won. And in a dominant fashion. Go Hawks. Just wanted to give you a little history lesson there. Wyatt Wood. We can't forget Z-Bot's Bills-Broncos game and score prediction. Oh, my God. Putting us on the spot real quick if you want to run it around the table, fellas.
24-21 Bills.
Love it.
29,
I'll take that one, too.
29-17 Bills.
Love it.
And I'm going to go with 23-20 Bills.
Oh, my God. Now I hate it. I'm not going to say anything. I got my fingers crossed, though, Wyatt. Oh, my God. Alex just pulled up L, but Jess, the hat is the worst thing I've ever seen. Niners are getting the dub. True to dub blue. Mike, Now that Tomlin could be available, how about the two longest tenured coaches in the NFL fired within 1 week of another? With that said, Mike, would you want Tomlin to be a potential candidate for your Cardinals?
Short and simple, yes.
Nice and easy. How about
I got
that?
your coach for you. You ready for this, Mike?
LaFleur?
Nate Shieldhaus.
No, I'm good.
Oh, all right. I'm telling you.
You heard it here first.
Nate Shieldhaus, you're looking for that like McVay-esque.
He's a special teams coordinator, right?
No.
No?
He's the passing game coordinator for the Rams.
Gotcha.
If Nate Shieldhaus's name pops up from Schefter for that, Jake, I'll Venmo you $100 and I'll do it instantly. I will text you.
Please hire that guy.
Just
Mike,
because I would be so impressed.
Please hire that guy.
At the
Sean
ability.
McVay took him right out of Matt Campbell's Iowa State program. He came in the NFL, and he is flying up the rungs. And, I mean, Sean McVay is going to be dominating the whole coaching. I mean, everyone wants to interview Sean McVay's coaches. Shieldhaus, I've actually done a lot of research on this. I actually think Shieldhaus is better than Shula, and I think he's better than Mike LaFleur. I like LaFleur more than Shula. I think Shieldhaus is the golden goose here. I actually think he's the
Throughout
one
the
that
season, Jake has literally named 9 staff members from that fucking team to coach your team. Like,
No, that's not true. I named 3, and guess what? All 3 are getting head coaching interviews.
All amazing.
So bite me, Jesse.
All right, next over to
808 Niner. I don't think the Niners are going to win. For me, the season ended in Tampa Bay, so all of this is gravy to me. Can Sam come up big? No, but the D will carry him. Hawks suck, and it's the same old sorry-ass Rams. Bang, bang. Cedric. Jesse, do you think Jair Brown's injury is going to play a factor going into the divisional round? And any updates on Fred Warner's injury?
I do. I think Siegel might come through and play really, really well. So in that factor, I think it will play a factor. And I don't expect Warner to play this week. If they make it to the NFC Championship, I think he will suit up for that game.
808 Niner stopping back in. Sorry, Mike, forgot about the Cards. The Cards are, well, the Cards. Good season, fellas. That Seahawks-Texans Super Bowl is going to set offenses back 50 years. You ain't kidding. The Warhammer. Hawks haven't been serious playoff contenders for a long time. People underestimate Mike the Guru Slayer. The playoffs will be his coming out party. We have Uso Cat. Only bang bang is to the dome of that
zombie.
And I've never seen that emoji in my life. Is that a zombie? Wow.
Zombie.
I didn't even know that they
Let's
had
go.
that.
This is very creative. I like that.
Very creative indeed. What do we got here? Yep, there it is. Screenshots being put to good use. We got Daniel. Hawks, Niners loser has to change profile picture to hat pick for 1 month. Not a bad idea, but I think we have definitely had some incredible ideas come forward tonight. Tommy Huxley, kick Jesse off here for thinking Herbert is elite. Tough to be elite behind that offensive line, but yeah, Justin Herbert was not good.
I don't know that I've ever said he's elite. I've got him at like number 6 quarterback, but he's one of the 6 or 7 guys that is a mainstay in the top 10. And say what you want. You can say he's not clutch. Sure, he's got to do better in the playoffs, but there's maybe 7 teams that would take their quarterback over Justin Herbert. And every single year he's ranked in the top 10 by executives. There's a reason for that.
Jesse, what's the excuse going to be if Darnold wins on Saturday?
Oh, let's see how he plays. I mean, if he throws 2 picks and looks terrible, but they win, I mean, I could see a scenario where that happens too. So let's see.
If that happens, you'll find out, Chris, via the love letter handwritten by Jesse on next week's show. Dylan, Jesse, quick review on how comfortable and aerodynamic that hat is.
Comfortability 1, aerodynamic 6. Yeah.
All right, at least there's some positives there. We got Daniel again on top of a buzz cut. How about a logo on the side of the hair?
On the side of the hair would be good.
We got that. We got a double down. Perry saying the same. Shave the logo into your hair.
I got a Niners stylist, and she's been threatening me on trying to get a lane. She's like, yeah, I'll know it'll be fine. And she's doing a lot of like just very subtle jabs in there about if this buzzer just happens to slide off, maybe that just happens.
That's funny.
I love it.
That's hilarious.
It's getting hot this week, I'm telling you.
Lake would ride the bench in Seattle. Oh, old take. Jordan.
No.
Some people
So even Wari sitting then?
What?
Imanwari sitting then? Because doesn't he play the slot mainly?
I can put Lake anywhere.
Or no?
I can play him in the back end of the safety room. I can play him at linebacker. I can play him in the slot. He wouldn't sit the bench.
He could be Mike's next head coach. Jordan 3305. Some people have the IQ of their shoe size. It is what it is. Well said, Jordan. We got Cheeto. Missed half the show and kind of glad I did with that gross hat. Can't wait for the rematch, Brando. Should be a great game. We got Sammy.
Let's go.
Wax your chest, 40-year-old virgin style. There we go. That's a hell of an idea. Cedric, who would have thought?
Chest hair.
I would say any given Saturday. Shout out to Jesse, Brandon, Jake, and Money Mike. Take care, fellas. Niner faithful signing out. Have a good evening, Cedric. Thanks so much for stopping in and for all the super chats. Sammy and Pickle, shave your head and eyebrows and get a DL picture. I don't even know what that is.
I am definitely not going to
driver's license.
Driver's license. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I just got an updated picture last week, actually.
That's a great idea, actually. Cheeto could do a henna tattoo so it's not permanent. Oh, there you go.
I've heard those henna tattoos go wrong, though. Permanent sometimes.
Yeah. Quinn,
my luck.
Man of his word. How about this? Dropping off. Wow.
Yikes.
Dropping off an Indiana Hoosier $100 dono, saying as long as y'all are actually going to do some kind of bet, that's all I want to see. Playing with house money is lame. Having some skin in the game is the way football should be. Game on. Well said, Quinn. Thanks so much for stepping up to the plate, and a bet will be locked in, and it will be revealed next week, right where you are here on the NFC West Roundtable. We got Brent. Get your nails painted in other teams' colors for a bet. The Vote Green would be something else. That would be something else. If it went that way.
That would be a lot. That'd be extra. That'd be a lot.
Matthew Plowden once again. Jesse rocking the opponent's hat and still is the coolest mother effer in the room.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Brother Bob, what happened to your Penn State hat you had as a kid? Oh, did you leave it at Sandusky's house? Come on.
My
that is Bob.
Brother Bob is back.
Bob back in a big way. Bringing that heat.
Brother Bob.
Like the damn Kool-Aid man breaking down that freaking wall.
Oh, yeah.
You know when he arrives.
Jeremiah, I'm late to the stream, so sorry if you all went over this already. But Jesse, do you think Lenore will shadow JSN like he basically was doing with AJ on Sunday?
No, I don't think so. I think that Lenore traditionally does well against the bigger receivers. Devontae Adams, he's done well against AJ Brown. I don't. JSN lines up in the slot too much for him to shadow him, in my opinion.
Ski Nation, Jesse, flip that over, line it with aluminum, and eat nachos out of it. Go Hawks! It kind of sounds great.
Hey, Mike, real quick, I want to make a coaching suggestion. Otto Benedict, he's the SVP at the facility of SoFi Stadium. He's been in the presence of Sean McVay, and I feel
he's
like
a riser, though. He's coming through the ranks.
He's a
with a bullet.
Quick riser for
So
sure.
let me
I
get
think
this
that
straight.
he
Through the
could be
ranks.
the next thing.
Young genius, Mike, is what they're calling him.
I'm
genius.
biased, right? Because I'm seeing the comment section. I'm biased, yet, and I want to understand this. I'm wanting coaches to leave the Rams to make my rival team better. How would that be the case? I need an actual explanation.
I just think it's funny.
We're just
You got so many of them, you won't be. You can't.
Yeah,
miss
I think
all
it's not that. It's matters as you're calling out like John Fraudenscheid. We're like,
No, Nate
Who?
Shieldhouse.
I
He's
just-
legit. He's getting head
that's
coaching interviews.
but is he really? Or is
Yes,
somebody
he
gonna really hire him?
is. He's got 3 head coaching interviews this week.
I've never wanted somebody to get hired worse, just to see what the reaction would be.
Oh,
But
I
Shaka,
mean, it'll be sad to see him go, but I will be insufferable to all 3 of you.
I'd have to give you a walk.
Grant Udinski, there you go. Oh, bias. All right, Grant Udinski in Jacksonville. There you go. There's another one.
Shaka. Whoever loses has to stream them playing Madden. Also, if we win, we get all pro Fred back for the NFC Championship game. That would be huge. That sounds like I mean, like that sounds kind of fun. I feel we got to get a little.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I
I'd sign
hate
up for
Madden,
that
so
one.
that'd be torture
punishment.
for me.
Seth, loser has to attend the NFC Championship game wearing their team's gear, so they get booed and heckled all game. Also, film it. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Worse than pulling up to a game that doesn't involve your team and you're just wearing their jersey. I hate that guy.
So
worst.
every 49er fan that I see at a Rams game that
All
doesn't
right,
have the
calm
49ers.
down.
he's got you there.
I mean, I was just at the Lions game. That's the last game I went to. You wouldn't believe how many just 49er fans are just wearing like a Joe Montana jersey or like a George Kittle. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Emmitt Smith and Joe Montana jersey, you're guaranteed to see it everywhere. Cowboys, Niners, it's just the way it goes. Space. Jake, you're not getting past the Bears. Tough break, lame fans. Damn. This is so blunt. Boyette.
I think
we
they
should have
are.
picked up Darrell Taylor. See you on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it shows the desperation of the Niners situation that they're looking at Darrell Taylor with like hungry eyes. And I saw Kruger the other night. He puts on his Twitter. He's like, he's strong at the point of attack and 270 pounds. And I'm like,
there's I love Larry, but there is not a player that is like low hanging fruit, like terrible practice squad friend guy that he doesn't love, man. He loves to scout those guys like they're all going to be great.
Taylor's
JJ
235 pounds on a heavy day.
On a heavy day. JJ Niner on a normal day. Holy crap. Popped in here and saw that hat on Jesse, and I threw up in my mouth. Make it stop. We got Trungdu. Funny show. Week 1, Bosa got winning fumble. Demon Wari got hurt first drive. Seattle is 100% healthy. I don't see us losing. Game 1, you guys got time of possession. Week 18, Seattle had it. Zach and Ken, JSN, 14. Don't turn it over. Dark. Trungdu is ready to freaking go on Saturday night.
Strong. Let's go.
Rather faithful. Purdy, 6-0 in Seattle. Yep, we touched on that earlier.
Not played particularly good against McDonald, though. A lot of those stats are beefed up on Carroll's time there a little bit. So,
you already know how I feel about stats without context.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't like that one. It's like, yeah, he did great against Carroll. The different against this defense.
Jesse versus Brando. Loser has to twerk. No. Twerk live. All right. Jordan.
No.
Remember, Vegas had us at 7.5 wins, and everyone had us third in the division. Pepperidge Farms remembers. Yeah, crazy how things can change throughout the course of the year. T-Guns, the Cardinals fan, should have no say.
Hey,
Mike?
next year.
Next year. Pretty good. Back in again. He's been on fire all night. He's saying, Brando, when you're a number 1 seed with a number 1 ranked defense and a 7.5 point favorite, sorry, bro, you can't claim you have nothing to lose and zero pressure.
I can actually push back on this exactly because what you get with pressure is this thing that now we've got all these decisions that are coming up. If we don't get this win, they're going to be, now we're not going to get this opportunity once again. That's where all of the pressure comes from when these teams are in a pot. Like Z-Bot said with his team and where they're at. If they lose now, what do they do as far as they turning into this? Are they letting McDermott go? Do they have to redo their defense? Do they have to go out there and find these receivers? Do they need to make an aggressive move? This puts them in that mind state. We lose this game. What do we got to go do aggressively? Who's got to be fired? Who are we really worried about losing this offseason? We're the 3rd youngest roster in the NFL. So it's like, it's not just pressure because you're the favorite in the 1 seed. It's pressure by also where your team happens to be on that life cycle of their Super Bowl window. And our window is just cracking open.
That's
John
true.
Naylor.
That's true. But I guess the way I would see it is if Sam Darnold comes out and he looks awful, right? Throws 3 interceptions and you guys go home. I think that's a legitimate concern. Like now you're like, do we have a quarterback that can get us to where we need to go? I think
that's fair in the regard to the quarterback side of it. But I think as far as team goes, like to me, 49ers, even with the season they've had up to this point, the injuries are much more in that place of this more pressure on them. They're the team that's at the end of this cycle as far as the window goes. They're the team that's facing guys retiring. They're the ones that are facing, we have to make a lot of major decisions this offseason. So it's just like, if we're really playing the pressure game, more so it's really on the Niners here. And I don't think there's really that much pressure on either two teams, quite frankly. But I just think that's why I don't hold up much to that point necessarily.
That's fair.
John Naylor,
the quarterback's fair. Quarterback's fair.
He's saying, I love you, Jake, but LA, that cold ain't Windy City, Chicago cold. He's saying it's a
Oh,
bit
I
different
know. I've been
at
in
Soldier
both.
Field.
I've been in both.
Pretty
trust
good.
me.
By the way, ask the Lions about windows and how much time you have. Them windows close quickly. As Dan Campbell said, that may have been our only shot, and I don't think you knew how right he was. Propa, be subtly trying to move the pressure off the Hawks. You're the 1 seed. You embarrassed us 2 weeks ago. Our team's in a hospital bed. Pressure's on you. And Brandon just did a good job of saying, how it could be the opposite way, but I do get both angles here. So that's an interesting kind of dynamic for this game. P-Train.
Again, nobody thought we were supposed to be good this year. We've become
That's
this. Is
I
like
did.
it's.
I did.
You did, but you're one of the 1% of analysts
fine,
and people nationally that saw it that
But now
way.
that we're here and we're at this point in the season, you guys are the favorites. Like, it's very clear. Like, you're the favorites.
Sure.
You're the Vegas betting favorites. You're the number 1 seed. Sam Darnold doesn't have a playoff win. He choked down the stretch last year. Like, there's absolutely pressure on the Seahawks. There just is.
What does that mean, though? What does it mean by pressures on him? Can you elaborate on what that is?
I mean, listen, it doesn't. Who knows how you feel it? Everybody feels it different. But who's expected to win? Who's the team that most pundits are going to pick? Who's the betting favorite? It's the Seahawks. So if you guys lose to the 49ers, a team that you just beat the hell out of, that you're a 7-point favorite of at home coming off of rest with Sam Darnold at quarterback, that's not a good look. It's just not.
No, there's an agreement there, but when it comes to pressure versus not a good look, or there being questions on Sam if he doesn't perform up to, those are valid.
Sam has pressure.
But the fact that they walk into this like they're really going to be tight because of this expectation on their back,
that doesn't mean
that's what's inferred
tight.
by the pressure angle of it. And I don't think that there's anything to that on this, really.
P-Train, thank you, Jake, and the rest of the crew for putting out content that helps me take a break from the sadness of losing my mom back on January 3rd. Sorry to hear
about
that,
that, P-Train.
Thoughts and prayers, brother. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and glad
Appreciate
we can help give you that break, and we're thinking of you, and sorry about that. But thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Jersey boy, Niners Coach of the Year, Seattle Super Bowl, Rams MVP. Not a bad year for the majority of the NFC West. Alex Double X, give me bald Brando. He has legit Lex Luthor potential.
Ooh.
Plus, we can't have Jesse cut off his beautiful, all natural gold. Good point there, Alex. Ski Nation. We see your big Brock and raise you a horse Brock lock. So listen,
Drew Lock.
Ski Nation. Yeah, Drew Lock, right? Oh, geez. Really pulling out all the stops
Our backup
tonight.
quarterback's better than yours.
Yeah. We got Cheeto. Mike, I love you, but you just can't have Salah. That's the only problem right now for Niners fans.
Boy.
Is they're
He got a job
get
after
ignored.
that performance. That job's locked in for him now.
Probably Ravens.
John Naylor. Mike, for head coach, do you want a defensive-oriented head coach?
I'm open to anything, honestly. A lot of people were saying offense. I'm open to anything, honestly.
Except Shieldhaas.
Except for Sheila. Yeah.
You won't even look him up. And you wonder why all
Quit
of
trying to
you
make
people
Shieldhaas
missed
a
out
thing. He's not going to be a thing.
And you
Otto
wonder why all you
Benedict,
people
bro.
missed on Sean McVay.
Otto Benedict.
That's who I
Romelia.
wanted.
Props, Hawks getting to eliminate the zombie Niners this upcoming weekend. We have Addis the Gamer, 12-1. That's all we need. Keep doubting the Hawks. They're for real. This is for you 12s and Brando. Go Hawks. Can't wait for Saturday.
Go Hawks, brother.
Seth, Mike, would you rather have Kubiak, Salah, or Shula for your head coach?
I'm going to rank it. I'm going to say Salah, Kubiak, Shula.
Nice. Mark, after this game, Bang Bang will change to Pew Pew. Propa. Who you think is the scariest team to play in the Super Bowl from the AFC?
Texans.
Bills. Josh Allen's just
Texans.
too. It's just I don't want to
Defense.
deal with that guy.
I'm
love
with
Josh,
Jesse on
but he's
Magic.
just
The
not-
magic with Allen as a quarterback and what he can do just to, I mean, he's just playing at the top of the sport, really right there with him. Stafford, I know maybe above him, but like just, he can just carry things, even if he doesn't have the supporting. That makes him so scary. Where every other team's got the flaws to them of the ones that are the rest.
I would say the Bills because of Josh Allen. I mean, I don't care if he's only throwing to the NFC West Roundtable. He's going to find a way, and he has every bit. Like he's got the legs, he's got the body. Where like if you get into 3rd and 1, I mean, that QB sneak almost went into the end zone. Like, what are we talking about? So, yeah, I would say the Bills because of Josh Allen. I'll tell you who doesn't scare me. The Broncos. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's-
I don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills came out and they just punched the Broncos in the mouth. Guys, they've beaten up on, like, backup after backup after backup quarterback this year, and no one wants to talk about it. And they've had an easy schedule regardless of that. So that means if you take into account the backup quarterbacks they played, it's an easier schedule than the barely over 400 schedule that they played. So I'm sorry. I am not high on the Broncos at all. I'm
Happened
not.
this time last year, 31-7. I'm hoping for a repeat, boys. We got Seth. Can we get the guy on the right to get oiled up for us? Who? We got a couple guys on the right.
Right. Wait, who's the guys on the right? Me and Jake.
I guess he's saying the dealer's choice. Sammy, Big Dom, next head coach of the Cardinals.
Please,
No
for the
doubt.
love of God.
He had the headset on. He's ready to rock.
I need
man.
him. I need him off of everything. We need to stop talking. Stop making Big Dom a thing.
It's unbelievable. My
It's
main man,
ridiculous.
Ryan Ram Adinger, and he's saying 3 receivers on the active roster. Bot, what the hell are the Bills going to do? Well, Josh Allen, he's going to have to turn into Superman and a cyborg and a robot and an alien. And James Cook's going to have to get the ground game going. They were lucky to be able to find a way to win without being able to run against Jacksonville. It's going to be pivotal in this game. Khalil Shakir, 12 targets, 12 catches last game. His impact's going to be huge, but it all comes down to the tight ends for Buffalo. Even with these guys out, those guys out, Davis, Tyrell Shavers, and Palmer, 41 combined targets among the three. So it's not this massive loss. It's just another indication as to how bad the Bills wide receiver room is. And yet Josh Allen still continues to find a way. Russ becoming a U2 member. Welcome to the squad, Russ.
Welcome.
Great to have you aboard. We got Propa. Commanders and Lions also thought the same as Brandon. Yeah, Commanders.
Yeah, I don't know that they were in the same place as far as the youthful roster. Commanders had an old, aging defense. Detroit had a little bit of an older roster. The fact that we're the third youngest roster is a part of the factoring within this. That's why their windows were maybe a little bit more shortened than they were.
Yeah, Detroit lost both coordinators, and the Commanders never had a dominant unit. And you look at Seattle, and it's like the defense is so good. You can't
They
imagine
just
that
leaned on
discipline.
Jane Daniels to be magical, like the Bears are leaning on Caleb Williams to be magical. It's not a representation. You built a good squad that's going to be solid into the future, as evidenced by the fact the Commanders came back and fell back down to earth this year. That's a different team than what we've been building up here for the past couple of years, in my opinion.
The only Flav, Seahawks guy. Seahawks guy. If you lose
Seahawks
this game
guy.
as a 7.5-point favorite at home to the Niners practice squad, you aren't even close to a Super Bowl window. You might actually consider blowing it up and starting.
Yeah,
over.
that's what's going to happen. Sure. That's not going to happen. So again, that's why there's not a pressure thing. Is there's not some major decision now that has to be made if you happen to lose it. Will it be a bad loss? Will we have to turn over some stuff? Sure. But being the third youngest roster, being this young, you know what you get the young roster? Inconsistency. And that can sometimes rear its head at the worst of times. And that's kind of the heart of my point here a little bit. But I don't know if it's going to resonate with many Niner fans on this one.
Isaac throwing his hat in the ring saying, what about a wash off? We have Hannah. We got a million different ideas coming through. 604 Lobos. Gino haters are nothing but bitter casuals. Tell them. Yeah. Gino the Great. Could have been, should have been
He's
him
not
this
even going to be a
weekend.
starter next year. Tell us all about it.
Daniel back in. Seahawks didn't listen to the outside noise when they weren't expected to get 8 wins, and they're not listening when favored. They're playing for each other. Adis is saying, when will Darnold get his respect? Again, it blows my mind. The media had us with 7 wins in 4th place, shaking my head. Disrespect is real. He will get respect this weekend if they win that football game. Russ,
Amen.
Hey, Jake, who scares you the most in the NFC?
The Bears, because that's who they're playing this weekend. But
Well
overall,
said.
Good answer. Good answer.
overall, because I don't want to look ahead. I mean, I want to give the Bears their credit. You have to find a way. But overall, I would say that the team that scares me the most is actually the 49ers. And the reason being is because I think the Rams and Seahawks match up very well. The 49ers and Rams had a really close game, and then the Rams beat them down. The Rams still have not played Brock Purdy yet, and that team, you start to talk about that's a 50-50, 60-40 49er thing at SoFi Stadium. And then they know they're one game away from hosting the Super Bowl. I mean, I just don't think if that were to happen, that's not like a guaranteed win. And I know a lot of Rams fans would be like, oh, they're banged up. It's like, okay, well, if they got past Seattle, they were banged up then, So I think the team that has nothing to lose, quite possibly nothing to lose and everything to gain, that's the team that scares me the most. That would be the 49ers.
Jordan, Sam could go 25 or 30 for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the goalpost will be moved. No use in arguing.
This is literally like the worst comment back about like the Sam Darnold quote unquote hate. Just show up clutch in a game that is needed. That's what it is. Say, oh, if he went 25, no, we would say, great job, Sam. Wow, you proved us wrong. You can get it done. You act like that's happened or that he's played clutch against playoff teams. He's been awful against playoff teams this year. Like, that's factual. He was bad down the stretch in the games that mattered most. That's factual. They literally took the ball out of his hands against the 49ers in week 18. Now, a lot of that was because they didn't have to do much but run the football and whatever. But Sam has not done anything to prove this narrative wrong. Go out there for one. All we're asking is for one game versus the 5 or 6 bad. That's all we're asking for in a moment that matters. Going 25 or 30 for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, nobody's moving the goalpost. But you act like he's just out here proving every week in crucial crunch time games that he's that dude. No, he's not.
He did beat playoff teams this year, and he played well against playoff teams, including the Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Teams.
I read the stats last week when he had like 9 touchdowns and 11 turnovers. He hasn't.
Well, is it the stats or is it actually what the game film tells? Because the game film in both those 2 games he played well.
I mean, that's
what he's talking about. Look, he came back in the game against the Rams at the end when you needed him to step up. So it's like what they're talking about to the heart of this is that there's these things you'll say is that this is the line, and then it's like, well, no, actually it's over here. And I understand for you it needs to be a playoff game, but I think from people's frustration on that, they go, well, wait, he's done this stuff here. Here's exhibit A, B, C. Well, no, those don't actually count. And it's like, well, I can go down to a stat. He played well in those games. Played great in the Jacksonville Jaguar game on the road against the first place team.
Since week 11, 8 TDs, 8 interceptions, 7 big time throws, 13 turnover worthy plays, 83.2 rating. Like, that's not good, man. It's not good. I don't.
Yeah, but that's not the story of his whole season. And it's also with them going more conservative offensively.
But as the season starts to matter, that's the whole point. It's not that Sam's not a good quarterback or can't.
You've won every one of those games, but one on the back half of the schedule. Every one but one game.
If he's asked to be the guy, it's not going to happen, and that. Let's see it one time is all I'm asking for. One time. Go be the reason your team wins in a big time moment. That's all I'm asking for. I don't think that's that crazy of a thought.
It's always tough when mom and dad fight in front of the kids. We got Jeremiah. It's so cute to see all you Seahawks fans defend Darnold how we used to defend Jimmy G. It's so cute, man. The ability to be right on cue sometimes in this chat is incredible. Jay Gundy. Hawks got to two tap these zombies. We got Pinchy. Can't wait to see Darnold fold and sell the Seahawks season. Shout out Jake, go Rams, Stafford, MVP, LFG.
That was enjoyable.
Stefan Niners. There's a guy who went from dishes to record monthly sales at the hot dog stand at SoFi in less than a year. Seems like a solid head coach candidate for Mike.
Oh my God.
Leave Jake alone.
I hate all of you.
Seth, I would prefer the Cardinals remaining as the Jets of the NFC West. Give the Hawks, Niners, and Rams a team to make fun of and hate equally. Oh, Seth, what did we say? No Cards hate until next season, damn it.
Nope.
Jordan, Purdy got saved by Juwan Jennings against the Eagles. If we use the same logic we do with Sam.
Because Purdy hasn't done anything clutch in the playoffs. Like, listen, I'm not a Purdy apologist, but like the facts are the fact. The dude has showed up in the playoffs when they need it most. He just has multiple times.
Isaac saying, what about your Bills? How about them? How about them, Isaac? How about them Bills? How about 17? Looking forward to seeing one of you 3 in the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. Feed me more. Seattle is 6-2 against teams with winning records, but okay. I think Jesse's point's more it being the defense that helped those wins, I think, here, Jesse, right, as opposed to Darnold. That's kind of your take on this.
Yeah, I mean, the take is that doing it in week 3 versus a team that made the playoffs is not what you think it is. It's do it when the season's on the line. Show me something. Be the reason your team wins. I don't think he can do that.
We'll see Saturday night. Oh boy, Chris. What has Herbert done that Sam hasn't?
Nothing.
Jesse?
But pointing out that another quarterback hasn't proven it doesn't make your point valid that Sam can either.
But you give Herbert a pass that you don't give to Sam.
No, listen, Herbert, no, that's not true. Herbert absolutely needs to do better in the playoffs, 100%. Just like I say that Burrow can't continue to be injury prone and neither can Lamar Jackson. These guys have got, you can't forever get a pass. You cannot. And Herbert,
but you got him ranked sixth in the NFL
regular season
in
quarterback. Yeah, because he's proven it year in and year out that he's a very solid quarterback in the regular season. But he in the playoffs, it doesn't mean he's clutch. I'm not ranking him number 6 in clutch rankings. That's not. That's not the question
it's a guy who's has not proven anything more beyond what Sam's done. In fact, you could make the very strong argument Sam's done significantly more than what Herbert's done.
Legit good football and has been the reason that team's been good for a long time. He's gone through head coach after head coach. The first season as a rookie gets thrown in because the starting quarterback has a punctured lung, literally the worst offensive line in football, and puts up gaudy numbers. Like, he's done it many, many years. Sam Darnold has 2 good seasons and no clutch fucking wins in the playoffs. Like, I'm sorry.
And that's the one times he got that legit coaching you're talking about. That very same thing you apply to Sam with the early part of his career. That you'll hold him over the barrel for, and we'll talk about ghosts about.
Herbert's
and then we ignore that with Herbert, and he gets the pass
in the NFL. He's done it for 7 years, not 2.
So done what? By your metric, though, done what? But he's putting up good year. He's not. Is he not part of why they're not winning at times, or it's all in the rest of the team?
He needs to be clutch. He needs to be clutch in the playoffs. He hasn't been clutch at all. He needs to do better in the playoffs, but he's done it for 7 years. I don't know.
Nice hat, dork. Ski Nation. Jesse is right. Sam Darnold didn't clutch against the Rams for the division. That was Splam Sparnold. He did a hell of Splam Sparnold, one of my faves. I love Splam.
Yeah, man.
Russ.
Yeah.
Jesse.
That wasn't Rashid Shaheed at all. He didn't have any part in that game. Okay.
Jesse, you might have a buyer here. Russ wants to buy that hat.
I can't. The rule is we got to keep it. That's part of the bet. I have to keep the hat.
For life.
Yep. Brandon still stares at that sourdough Sam each and every night. Upper left. Jess, a win is a win, and Purdy is 0-1, and Sam will be 1-0. Go Hawks. Feed me more. We face the Saints week 3. Doesn't count, Jesse. And we have Addis. Can't wait for Saturday. Let's go. Preach. Cannot wait. Last but not least, it's Daniel. Factually, not clutch. Need it once. 6 times last 2 years. Listen, it's all on the line Saturday night. Jesse will either be shut up or Brando will be vindicated. Somebody will walk away with a poem written, with some variation of their head changed, and with a trip to the NFC Championship. We cannot wait to talk about it. Same time, same place next week. NFC West Roundtable, Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we will recap the divisional round, and I got a feeling it is going to be incredible. But for tonight, that is going to do it for us. For Brando, Jake, Mike, and Jesse, I'm your host, Seabot. As we roll out the door, we got Tyler. Okay, boys, next week's roundtable, loser spends 3 minutes professing admiration, hows and whys written by the winner directly after introductions. It's going to be a poem. Tyler, it's going to be a poem. And I think we're
cold open poem.
Yeah, cold open. We're going to have some admiration in there. We're going to have some hows. We're going to have some whys. It's going to be great. We can't wait to be with you. For Brando, Jake, Mike, Jesse, I'm your host, Seabot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in to the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, And the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.